Hello. Welcome back to AnxietyPilled, everybody. Today we have a very special and unique episode. So typically we have both a man and a woman, but today it's
Not
ladies
today.
only. It's ladies
Not
night.
today. It is late. No, I'm quite prolific when it comes to ladies' nights. Every single ladies' night is my favorite night. Guys, don't we all just love women in horror? Don't we just love them?
Fuck yeah,
Aren't they
man.
just so special?
This is totally
Um,
intentional and not because of an emergency with the men hosts.
no. See, because women just stepped up. I took up this mantle, decided I can help out, I guess, and then oh, I'm just super excited because it's both of us are, non-men, and then we're also reading a beautiful multi-part story from Tina the Rose. So, do you want to talk about that?
Yes, so this one is 55 pages long, a little daunting. Not so much for the reading, but for the editing part. So, what we're going to do for
Yeah.
you is we are going to read up to the end of chapter 5, and then we will release the second part as a bonus episode for you guys for being such an amazing
Mhm.
audience.
You guys are so good. You guys are so good. Yay!
You
Bonus
guys are being
episode.
good
Woo!
boys and good girls and good whatever.
Flip that. That. Flip that. Get it on file. All right, load it up with the others. Not I've read.
First man with that,
Neither
now
of us
me.
actually read the whole thing. Actually, I don't think either of us. So there's gonna be some live reactions happening here when it comes
Yeah.
to the Lady in Pink. Um, which I just love it. Pink feminism. It all intertwines. It all comes together. Wow. To make our beautiful women only episode. Um, I don't know how much longer the intro is gonna be. Do you want to just like get into it?
Yes, but before we do, you
Mm,
can find Tina on on the Reddit, Tina underscore the underscore Rose, and
mhm,
Tina the Rose Blue Sky. We will link it in the description. And her message
mhm,
to the audience is thank you to you slash the underscore Republic for recommending me anxiety pills and that I've been
mm.
working on this story for a couple years.
Oh, oh, it's a couple years. Oh, so this is like a full story. Oh my god, turn into a
Yeah.
thing day. Also, the Republic mention, great dude, part of the Anxiety Pilled subreddit. Shout
Yeah.
out,
Part of the
you know,
cults.
part of our cult. Oh wow, good for Tina the Rose. Oh my gosh, I'm glad that they're
We
getting this story out
Yeah, we are
after
so
many
excited.
years. Oh my god, go Tina! Yay! So what? Are we just gonna hop into it?
Yeah, I say we are good to hop into it. Take it away.
All right. So, audience, we're gonna be switching our narration. So there's the prologue, and then we're doing 5 chapters. So it'll go, me bats, me bats, me bats, and then we all have characters that we've already selected beforehand. We'll see how that goes. So without any further ado, let's start with Prologue, A Dark History. There are a few things more embarrassing than asking your parents for help after failing to strike out and live your own life.
True.
It's especially embarrassing when you were disowned by those parents for how you wanted to live that life. Tragically, that's something I was forced to do after making one of the most heinous mistakes of my life. That mistake was named Zach.
True.
I met Zach! A man! Ew! Get him out of here! Get him out of here! It's girls' night! Oh, it just triggered me. Oh, hearing that name, Zach. Do you know Zach?
I know Zachary Kornfeld from BuzzFeed, and he seems to be an
Mm.
okay guy. There is another Zach that I know. He used to be a family friend. He was a pretty decent guy.
Mm.
Accidentally shot him in the nuts with a Nerf dart. My bad.
Oh, oh dear. Well,
I
shit
meant to
happens.
like get him in the chest, but I was aiming over the stairs.
How did this happen? How did that aim get so poorly shot? I'll never give you a gun.
I was like 12.
Okay, yeah, well. That mistake was named Zach. Okay, okay. Sorry for the very quick break, but just fun.
Men.
Uh, that mistake was named Zach. I met Zach during an anime convention that my best friend Emily and I attended to celebrate graduating high school. We'd both gone as Sailor Moon characters. I didn't know which ones since I was never a fan, but Emily was. She was incredibly excited for us wearing these costumes, but had overestimated our ability to wear high heels. We were both in agony towards the end of the first day. Since I was the one suffering less, I was the one tasked with procuring overpriced snacks from the vendors. That's when Zach and I's paths crossed. He was working at the food stall I was ordering pizza from. He looked to be in his mid-20s. He wore his long black hair in a ponytail, his muscular forearms were covered in tattoos, and he had half a dozen piercings in each ear. I caught his dazzling green eyes. Oh my god, this guy sounds perfect. Oh my god,
Yeah,
why
he
is he a
does sound
mistake?
really hot.
He sounds beautiful. Like if I saw this man, I'd be barking. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Go for
Mm,
it, girl.
Okay. Half a dozen piercings in each ear. I caught his dazzling green eyes lingering on the buds swelling under my costumes, the result of the estrogen I'd been hiding from my parents. I was unaccustomed to this kind of attention, and it brought a flush to my cheeks. He gave me his number with my food, making me go even redder.
Hey, snack for
When I
snack.
told, mm, yeah, he's just. Has that ever happened to you? Just some slipping in your number with your food, because that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, that
I'm like,
that
man,
is a little weird. That has
I'm
never
like, man, I just want
happened.
to eat, and I'm dressed up as Sailor Moon right now, and you're fucking trying to tap.
Yeah,
I just
and
want my
looking at
food.
my boobs.
And
Um,
looking at my boob. Didn't you
that
just
being
graduate high
said,
school?
yeah. Oh my
Zach.
God. Yeah. Okay, never
Yeah, if
mind.
you're in his
Fuck
mid,
Zach, we hate him.
yeah, if you're in your mid 20s, ooh, Zach, you're kind of weird.
But
Yeah,
at the same
when,
time, with the main
mm,
character, I do absolutely sympathize with the oh my God. I actually got hit on for the first time because
oh
like
my god, yeah, for
I've never
sure.
been the type to get hit on. Um,
Mm,
I I just for some reason my vibes are do not approach, do not hit on this one. Um,
mm,
but the first time, it's like this one guy at a bar like kind of put his arm almost put his arm around me and
ooh,
then decided to just put a hand on my shoulder and then went, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" And I was like,
oh.
"I'm engaged, but sure," because I was already drunk at this point. And I was like, "More alcohol, let's go." And even so, like two men hit on me that night, and yeah, I was
Oh, you got
engaged.
2 for 1.
I know, right?
Oh, you're engaged.
Yeah, married
Oh
now,
my god,
but
married now. Oh, okay. Oh my god, wait, I forgot. Oh yeah, I forget that everybody has spouses.
yeah, yeah. Brent, the new host that's coming up, he has a girlfriend, but no spouse yet. So
Not a
you
not a
guys are the
spouse yet.
unmarried ones.
Yes. I don't know. I'm kind of a bit more wary because I just don't really like getting hit on, and I think it's weird. I'm like, gang, you don't know who I am. You don't need to be going up to me saying this shit. Like, so sorry. Don't
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. I
I
think.
got stopped trying to
Ugh.
cross. I got stopped trying to cross a stopway one time. This guy pulled over, and I was like 16, so I told him like, "Hey, can you like not?" He was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. I just want to be friends, but you're super." And I was like, "Dude, I'm. You cannot be saying that
Oh my
to me."
God, the truth horror
Yeah.
story. Men saying, "I just want to be friends."
Yeah. I just want to be friends
I'm
with
only
this
all
man.
right with men
Anyway.
hitting on me if I'm drunk as hell. That is the only time I am all right with men hitting on me.
Nah, I just don't. I'm like, I don't know, kind of sleazy. So I'm like, I'm seeing this guy, and I'm like, this is your. Did you have a conversation with this presumably quite young girl dressed up as Sailor Moon before you just? Whatever. Zach seems like an asshole, guys. Is
Yeah,
the point
yeah,
of
he was hot.
saying
We're changing our mind.
he
Not that
he
hot.
was hot, but we have to adapt. We are mature. women, we have to look past his hotness and realize the devil within, of
And
course.
throw him in a wood chipper.
Yes, indeed. Right.
Yeah, let's go back to it.
When I told Emily about what just transpired, she was initially excited. However, when she found out how old he was, her excitement turned to worry. Thank you! Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thinking back, her concern was justified. After all, I'd just graduated from high school and he was well into his adulthood. Unfortunately, I was young and inexperienced with relationships. I was blind to the red flags, so I called him when we got back home. Growing up in a podunk located in one of the most remote parts of Texas was incredibly isolating. On top of living in the middle of nowhere, my family lived on a farm several miles away from town. Unless I was in school, I rarely saw anyone besides my parents or Emily, whose family were our neighbors. Even in school, the near constant threat of violence from other students prevented me from being myself. Besides Emily, Zach was the only one I could really talk to about anything. At first, he was kind, understanding, and warm. However, this was nothing but a facade. Sadly, I fell for it. I fell for it with every ounce of my soul I could muster. When I finally gained the strength to tell my parents about him, their response was to tell me not to darken their doorstep again until I revoked my sinful ways.
Yikes.
Yeah, holy crap. This is not what you do to your child after they say, "Hey, I'm dating a 28-year-old chud named Zach."
Yeah, like,
You do not kick them out and throw them into. Oh, that is rough.
yeah,
I
like,
think that this is.
my parents,
I
they
think that
might
this
have made a lot of
is.
mistakes, but when my sister was dating an abusive piece of shit, instead of
Mm,
going, you can't date him, you need to leave him right now, um, what my mom did was, I can't tell her to leave because that's
mm,
just going to cause further tension. What I'm going to do
yeah.
instead is just be like, that's a little questionable. And then wait
Hmm.
for her to feel, because, like, when it comes to abuse,
Mm,
the first step is isolation. And the
yeah.
further you fight with this person who's being abused, the more they're going to say fuck you and go further into them. And it's always complicated, but like
It's very
their parents did the
complicated.
wrong
I mean,
thing.
I've had friends who are in like just terrible, terrible situations, and like my brain, I just can't rationalize like. But I'm on the outside looking in. You know what I mean? It's hard when
Mhm.
you're in there and you're definitely like a lot of strong emotions there, and you want to stay with this person. You want them to be better. Oh, I think that the character we're reading is Carla, and I want Carla to get far, far away from Zach, please.
Yeah,
Oh god.
please, Zach.
That's such a rough situation because Carla is the trans character, yes? She's
Yes.
trans femme. Yeah. So to have to go back to living with your transphobic parents after you just got out of an abusive that would not be an ideal. I can already see how this is a horror story. Just the idea itself is just absolute misery.
Yeah, and honestly, um, so I'm going to talk to the author to make sure it's okay that like I say this, but like she said that like this is drawing like from her own
Mhm.
experience as a trans woman, and
Mm.
or at least that like Carla, like when it was describing her voice, like, hey, it doesn't matter how you want to
Mhm.
voice her. She is trans femme if that helps. And so like being trans femme, while like listen, I'm non-binary and I'm
Mhm.
like I'm cis passing. So
Mm.
I don't know the depths of
Yeah.
what trans femme go through. However, I do know that they are very vulnerable, especially someone in an environment such as Carla.
Oh, for sure, because it's like you have this isolated teenage girl, right, who doesn't have a whole lot of friends, I'm guessing. It seems that her only friend is her friend Emily. Her parents are being transphobic, I'm sure. And then there's
Mm-hmm.
this guy that's just nice to you, and it's like, of course you're gonna be like, of course you're gonna fall in love with that guy. Like, of course you're gonna do that. Ugh, God, that. Oh, this is rough. This is a rough way to start already. Please get my girl out of here. Please put her somewhere nice. Get her in fucking, I don't know. What's a nice place in America that's not Florida?
Um, shit, I don't know. I was gonna say Missouri because that's where my husband is, but I also understand that that's not the most progressive place.
You know what? Get this girl to Canada. All right,
Yeah, get her to
get her to the
Canada at this
get her
point.
to the true north, strong and free. All right.
Yeah, bring her to my house. I don't have any room, but like, we'll find something. Okay, let's get
All
back to
right.
the story. This
Yeah.
recording's gonna be so fucking long.
It's gonna be so long. It's all right. I don't have to edit it, so fine by me. Uh,
I'll make you edit for that.
if I ever edited a video, I'd be sneaking in PNG images of like Walter White, his like face, but I'd put down the opaqueness so it'd just be in the background, like blinking every now and then. You know,
Oh my god,
that would
I
be
need to do that.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so the response was to tell me
Uh,
not to darken their doorstep again until I'd revoked
my
my sinful
doorstep again
ways.
until I had revoked my sinful ways. I threw myself into Zach's arms without hesitation, without thinking. For a while, we were happy. However, as our time together progressed, his mask began to slip. Zach grew cold. He would reject my touch, yet demand my warmth, sometimes by force.
Mm.
The first time he became violent was when he choked me because he had caught my coworker flirting with me. I didn't think much of it at the time since he choked me during sex before. His rage would turn to tenderness for a while, but that anger would always return. About 6 months in, he lost his job at the bar he was working at, leaving me with the financial burden. His inability to provide became another insecurity that caused him to lash out more. And it took me far too long to realize why he lost his job. I only found out after I had to take him to the emergency room for a stomach pump. Drugs. He'd been buying prescription painkillers from his coworkers. I blame myself. I should have seen it sooner. How could I have not? His cheeks grew sallow, and his skin hung to his ribs like plastic wrap. Most heartbreaking of it all, the sparkle in his eyes had vanished. He transformed from the man I once dreamed of marrying into nothing but a husk.
Jesus. So
So,
another timeout for a moment.
mm, mm, mm,
So we have her stuck in this. She finds acceptance at first. Being in an
yeah.
abusive relationship with an addict. Oh, it's not
Oh,
fun.
this is not a good era for Carla to be in right now. This is just a lot that's happening, and I'm assuming that it's only going to get worse when whoever this lady in pink shows up. Whoever
Yeah,
that is.
yeah, and my
Um,
um so like my experience with having a loved one with addiction, it was alcohol and weed, so it wasn't
mm,
as drastic as prescription painkillers. Um,
mm.
but my goodness, God, the alcohol especially was rough.
Oh, I had somebody close in my life who had a really bad like addiction, like I'll call it like just fully. It just destroys your life, man.
It really
It literally
does.
just it literally just destroys everything that you've ever made and done, and it's like you could be like the greatest person in the fucking world, and then you get drunk and then you're not the same, like you change, and it's so upsetting to see. But then there's also that thing where it's like the thing about addiction is that it's not uh it's like a sickness, it's a disease. It's not necessarily
Hmm.
their fault. They're not choosing to be addicted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's conditioning in your brain. We learned about this in one of my psych classes. It's like it literally every single kind of drug behavioral addictions like gambling and shit, drugs like alcohol and weed and all that, they all hijack the same reward pathways in your brain. They condition you into needing it, into just wanting it so badly that it feels like a need. You know what I mean? And it's not their fault. You can't really prevent it. Like the urge is always going to be there. The conditioning is always going to be there. It's just hard to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it takes a lot to fight that addiction. And like you said, it's like a sickness. And I say that it's kind of like watching someone struggle with the sickness because your happiness in this relationship depends on whether or not that sickness is not present that day.
It's just not
Because
good for. Oh, sorry, I
yeah,
interrupted you there.
yeah, whether it's, is that sickness going to be rocking in full force that day? Can
Mhm.
we trust them with this thing? Um, are they being truthful to me? And then once you leave that relationship, you get paranoid yourself because you're like, man, that was an awful experience. I'd be terrified to let myself go down that same path. And then,
Mhm.
it leads to a point where you're like, oh, I want to, have a single beer on the weekend. Let's Google everything to make sure I'm not becoming an addict because watching that
Mhm.
watching that is a trauma in itself.
Yeah.
Um, so while I do feel bad
It's
for Zach's addiction, Carla,
mhm.
my poor girl, witnessing
She's too
addiction and
young.
that, yeah, and
She's
blaming
she's
yourself for
too
it is
young.
such a real thing.
It's it really does. Like when you're that young, especially as like obviously small town being queer in any way, you're gonna get shit on. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
just an inevitability. People just fucking suck. And it's like you're already dealing with your parents not supporting you. You're already dealing with your whole community not supporting you. And then you gotta deal with like somebody you love, like genuinely love. And yeah, Zach's a dick. That doesn't change the fact that Carla seems to genuinely love him, but he's
Mhm.
addicted. You know what I mean? He's wasting away into literally a husk, and that's too
Yeah,
much
and
that's too much. Gotta get into a nicer place because right now this is just a terrible setting for
and
her to
and
be in.
him being abusive honestly makes her blame of herself so much more because
Mm.
I had a girlfriend and that was the addict in my life. Thankfully, the alcohol stopped being an issue by the time we started officially
Oh,
dating, but we were still
nice.
very codependent by
Yeah.
the when there was the alcohol. And sometimes if
Mm.
things were going wrong and she'd relapse, um it would it would all fall apart. Um
Oh, it just falls apart so
and then you
quickly because
and
once
then
you
you
to
you
get
do
back
blame
into it.
yourself. You
Mhm.
do
Like,
blame
"Oh,
yourself.
what
You
could I have
go,
done to stop them from doing that?" You know?
yeah, like
Is there something I
you,
could have said or done?
yeah, in a way, you kind of become, or you see yourself as their self-control, and you see yourself as like, I'm the one that is protecting them from the harshness of this world, because if nobody's protecting them from the harshness of the world, then the addictive behaviors come back.
Mhm. It's just too much. Too much for too young. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. This is
yeah. This recording's going to
right.
be hours, every conversation is worth it.
We're having a fun time. We're having a fun discussion here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It's good
very
to chat
important
about some things.
discussions.
So, especially just cuz, fellow woman, you know.
Yeah,
It's just it's nice to have just not I don't know. I'm just too young sometimes, so it's nice to get like more experienced views.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah. I'm
mean?
old. Yeah,
Yes, yeah, all of you are. It's
yeah,
I'm scared for your guys' lives. You're all gonna be dead in 5 years, and I'm gonna have to do the podcast alone.
yeah.
And
I'm already using a cane.
okay,
But still, she
nothing but a
suffered
husk.
through it.
Mhm. Still, I suffered through it. I took on more and longer hours, scrounging up any pennies I could get my hands on. Frustratingly, those pennies would always go missing when I needed them most. Whether by coincidence or not, when this happened, Zach would become more skeletal and more angry. Yet I soldiered on, praying to God that one day the man I loved would return to me. He never did. He was no longer the man I fell in love with, if that person ever existed in the first place. Then came the day I could stand it no longer. I just finished making quasi con carne for dinner. I
That
don't know
is
if I
an
said that
ins.
right.
No, you did
Guys,
not.
I'm
Queso
so
con
sorry. I'm
carne.
white.
I
I'm
am
white.
also
I'm
white,
okay
but
with this.
Jesus Christ.
I'm really white, okay?
Okay,
I'm
hang on. I'm
this is
looking up queso
terrible.
con carne for our fellow white
Queso con
people.
carne.
Um,
Queso con carne. Here, let me see what this looks like. Let me see what the breakup meal is gonna be, because I'm guessing this is the breakup meal. Let me take a gander.
here, I'm gonna send you a screenshot
Mm,
of what I'm getting from
mm.
Google.
All right, I'd eat that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd munch on that.
I love making a very bastardized, I think it's queso con pollo. In restaurants, they call it pollo loco. But basically, you just take queso, the old El Paso
Mhm.
Mexican rice, and
Okay, so it's
chicken.
queso con carne.
Yes, yes, that was the
I got it.
wildest pronunciation of queso I had ever heard. I'm telling my
Hey!
mother-in-law on you. She's a Spanish teacher.
Ah! Don't actually. Oh, this is so embarrassing, guys. Don't clip this, please. I can't deal with the humiliation. Oh my gosh. I accidentally closed out of the tab, so now I have to go find my space again. God damn it! Everything's falling apart. All
We got
right.
this. It's fine.
All
I'll be Zach,
right.
by the way.
Okay. I had just finished making queso con carne for dinner. It was a recipe I learned from my mama. It had been I'm just really white. I feel like I can't do Carla justice. I'm gonna try. Sorry, y'all. Just okay. It had been a long day at work, and I'd forgotten Zach didn't have much of a taste for spicy food. He took one bite and loudly accused me of trying to poison him. Then he threw the pot across the room, splashing me with molten cheese. I screamed. I don't know if it was from shock or pain, but I immediately scurried to the bathroom, Zach screaming, "You fucking bitch," at my back. When I took off my shirt to inspect my burn, my heart sank. The burn itself wasn't bad, it just needed a bit of ointment. That was to be expected. What I didn't expect was to see how my skin clung to my ribs. When I checked my eyes, I was horrified to see the light in them had been extinguished. I'd been so blinded by what I thought was love that I'd never noticed the sacrifices I was making for the sake of our relationship. I could no longer ignore the truth that was reflected back at me. I had to escape. I rushed out of the apartment. The cool night breeze felt good on my skin. I pulled out my phone to call my dad. Part of me expected him to have blocked my number, but when I heard his voice from the other side, my voice became trapped in my throat. The words refused to form, no matter how much I needed them to. It took every ounce of strength to utter a single syllable, and I collapsed to my knees from the effort of saying it. Help. Dad immediately rushed to my aid. Regardless of our history, he still loved me. We packed as many of my belongings into duffel bags as we could, and when Zach threatened Dad, the old man shattered his nose.
Yeah!
Let's go! Let's go, Papa! Woo! I love to see it. A little beat down on assholes. It's a fun time. We left him cowering on the ground in fear. We brought my bags to Dad's battered old Ford F-150, and I was free. After the longest, hardest year of my life, I was finally free.
Okay, and I believe
That is the prologue.
that is the prologue.
That is the
And so
prologue.
already, um, Tina the Rose, girl, you are bringing so much real, genuine horror. Horror that, like,
Mm.
If this is based off of real life experience, girl, I am so sorry.
Very sorry. Please get out of, if this is a situation that is ongoing or was ongoing, that is unfortunate. I am very sorry that you've had to go through that, cuz holy fuck.
I
You get
think we
fucking
should
cheese thrown at you?
yeah.
Holy fuck. No, that's so miserable. Oh, gross. And then, like,
Yeah.
she looks at herself and she's emancipated. Like, she's so thin and, like, gaunt, and it's like, it's happening to you too. You just can't see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna include some resources below if
Mm,
you're struggling with this because no one deserves to suffer like this.
no.
And there's also something to be said about the complicated relationship dynamics when like, is your dad an asshole? Yes. Does he still
Mhm.
love you? Also,
Mhm.
yes. And I think a lot of queer people, or, not to get too political, but those of us who have kind of lost our parents in the MAGA trap,
Mhm.
um, that's a very real thing where it's like, we don't talk anymore. You've
Yeah.
hurt me in so many ways, but right now there's someone that's hurting me more, and knowing that, I know I'm safe. Like, there's the one
Mm.
time I had broken up with my abusive best friend, and the only thing that had stopped me from going into a complete panic attack was knowing that my dad was sitting there on the couch and he was going to beat the shit out of her if she tried to come in
Oh God.
and attack me. Like, I didn't tell him until like the day after, hey, this happened. But if she came storming in, demanding to talk to me and like berating me, it would have been a smackdown.
Yeah.
So
You
like
know,
the complicated relationships with parents is so real, especially
dude,
when queer identities are involved.
I think that it's I definitely I mean, at least for me, like, I'm queer, and we don't really talk about it, me and my folks, just cuz there's no need to. We already got enough going on. Don't need to add that on
Yeah.
top of it. You know what I mean? We'll just stick around for until I bring home somebody, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Um but that whole thing, it's just hard. It's like you still love them. You can't really help it. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And it's like to have, oh, that's so unfortunate. And it's like I feel bad for Carla cuz she's what, like, probably 19. That's how old I am.
Yeah.
And you're dealing
Oh,
with all this? 19. Get out of there, girl.
and she's not even
God,
in Canada, so she can't even like go smoke a
she
joint
can't
to
even.
stress relieve.
No, because you know what? Fucking America is crazy for a lot of stuff. It's crazy, and I'm like, this guy Zach, he probably can't get any good health care at all. You know what I
Oh my
mean? If he's
god,
not
yeah.
even, if he's not working either, like, that shit's so expensive. Like, what's he gonna? Oh, unfortunate. This is a rough story already.
But
We're
like
2 pages
it's
in.
yeah, but it is so very meaningful and well done.
Hmm.
So shout out. Now it is my turn to read.
Yeah, but then we got. So you'll be doing who'd we say that you're doing?
I'm doing mom and dad.
Oh,
Um
you're my parents.
yeah, I'm your parents. Congrats.
Hello. Thanks for birthing me so very long ago. Appreciate it.
No problem. I was 5. Cause yeah, I'm 5 years older than you.
Oh God,
Unless
you're,
you just
oh my God, world's youngest double parent. That's
yeah.
crazy.
Wait, actually no. Did you turn 19 this year in like 2026?
No, I'm turning 20 in like a month actually.
Okay, oh
I
yes,
better be
right.
getting
Right, we talked about this.
I better be getting some merry birthday wishes
Oh,
on that
absolutely.
unknown date. I'm expecting it, ladies and gents. So, you know, get ready to draw me. I have a thing with my friends. One of them, my best friend, She made me a Ninjago smut fanfiction for my birthday last year,
That's
right?
amazing.
And I just put it on my private, like, yo, if y'all don't want to buy me a gift, just send me a little smut fanfiction. I'll read it. I'll put it on my wall. So I think I got like 3 coming in. So
I'll
which
draw your
I miss.
icon.
Oh, thank you. Draw her with a little birthday hat in her giant cup. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, she's she's sweet.
What if I made a birthday party scene?
A birthday? What?
Yeah, like a birthday party scene. Like we got cake, we got all the hosts.
Oh, legendary.
If
Do
I
that.
can do that, I will.
You're gonna be filming my episode, which I need to write new stories for it because I've just had the same ones out for forever.
Yeah.
You're gonna be doing that on my birthday, actually, when I'm off,
Yeah.
probably just smoking weed at my house, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Yes,
fun times.
into chapter 1.
To chapter 1.
Much of the journey back home was made in silence. The moonlit road stretched out before us, flanked on both sides by trees. Dad kept glancing in my direction, making me self-conscious of the tank top I'd hurriedly changed into before calling him. It was low cut, and I knew he
Oh,
disapproved of it.
so this is sorry to interrupt you. This is like right after the prologue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, continue.
And I knew he disapproved of it, regardless of whether he saw me as a boy or a girl. Dad was an older guy named Mason. He was an Army vet and absolutely looked the part. Many considered him to be the quintessential Texan. He was tall, strong enough to crush a watermelon and bend rebar by hand, had the eyes of a hawk, and always kept his hair in an Army buzz cut. Growing up, everyone would hold me to a standard, trying to push me to strive to be like my dad. Part of me was resentful of him, but another part of me admired him. You've grown thin. Dad broke the silence with a voice like gargling gravel. But I gave him no response. He added, "Your mother missed you." Again, I didn't reply. It was all I could do to not burst into tears. After all, boys don't cry. Those are the only words said during the trip. Just after midnight, my family's red mailbox came into view. The tree branches swayed in the breeze as if welcoming me back home, which felt strangely comforting after a year with Zach. Dad made the turn onto our driveway, and the sound of tires going from smooth asphalt to rough, rocky dirt felt like listening to an old nostalgic song. Ooh, I like that.
Mhm.
The trees gave way to my childhood home. It was a simple, two-story stone house that was made by my grandfather's grandfather. It had a tin roof and a quaint wooden porch. As Dad parked
Okay.
in front of the porch, there was a loud slam on the passenger side door. An excited huffing and puffing on the other side brought a smile to my face. I managed to push open the door with a loud, rusty creak, and our elderly golden retriever immediately toppled me over my seat, trying to smother me in kisses. Oh!
Pause. Pause. If this fucking dog dies, Tina the Rose, I'm gonna find you. All
We'll,
right.
we'll quit the
I'm
story
gonna
if
be
Cinder
I'm
dies.
gonna be very upset. Do not kill Cinder, please.
Do not kill
I have 4
Cinder.
dogs. When there's dogs in a story, I just and actually you can see my profile picture. You can see all my dogs there and
Yeah,
their beautiful
I'll put it up on
faces.
the screen.
Yeah. It's their faces, but it's my face. If anything were to happen to them, I would probably like lose a part of my soul. Like they would die. So whenever there's a dog in a horror story, I hold my breath. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? I wait. I'm
the
waiting.
asshole is clenched.
Yeah, no, I am currently frigid, frozen in place. I am not breathing. I'm a statue. I'm just waiting to see if this fuck ass old ass dog survives this story. If the dog dies of old age very happily, then I will be happy. But
Yes, yes.
anything else, and I'm going to be pressed. All right.
Yeah, you will hear me cry live on recording.
Live reaction.
And yeah, live reaction. And as somebody whose dad has a golden retriever and is an army vet, me too, Carla. How is this girl making the most relatable story? Oh, yeah, sorry. Her name was Cinder. She'd gotten that name when she fell asleep too close to a bonfire as a puppy. She still had a bald spot on her rump.
Cute.
Immediately, I burst into joyous laughter as I scratched the old girl behind the ears, her tongue lashing at my face nonstop. Her paw pressed painfully against my burn, but I was too happy to care. Soon, a figure appeared behind Cinder. Dad pulled the dog off of me. One of my duffel bags slung casually over his shoulder. A short, sturdy woman of Mexican descent stood there, a wide, dimpled smile spread across her face.
Hola, mommy.
I said softly. Wordlessly, she rushed over and squeezed me tightly with arms like pythons. I hugged her back, resting my chin on her head and caressing her curly hair. Her hands gripped the back of my top, and I heard a muffled sniffling. When she pulled back, her eyes were watering. It's good to see you, Carlos, Mom whispered.
It's Carla.
I replied. Being dead named like that hurt. I'd hoped she had changed her ways, but I guess that was too much to hope for. Mom blinked in surprise, then turned her attention to my burn. Her expression was difficult to read in this light, so I couldn't gauge what she could be thinking. She gently traced her fingers along the raw red skin, causing me to wince a little. It ran from my sternum to the side of my neck, with a few specks here and there that were already blistering and mostly healed in the morning. Puta madre, Mom swore. I swear if I ever get my hands on that boy, I'll feed him his own fucking testicles.
You should have seen Dad earlier then.
I snorted.
He punched Zach in the face.
Took a lot not to kill the boy where he lay. Dad grumbling, nearly knocking me over as he shoved the other duffel into my arms. He was pathetic, sniveling on the ground like a dog. Cider whined as if in response to what he said. That got a laugh out of me. Good thing you didn't. We can't exactly afford the bail right now, Mom said as she jabbed Dad in the chest. She then grabbed my wrist to lead me inside. Come on, mija. I made your favorite. We went inside and I kicked off
Okay,
my
good
shoes.
parents right now.
Yeah,
Good parents right now. I'm
yeah,
like, you know what? They're trying.
yeah.
They
Still
seem
not
to have
accepting, but trying.
no. Still not like good, but like, you know what? After all this shit, I'm like, you know what? Thanks for not just straight up like is the mom I like that the mom did dead name but then switched to Mija instead of
Yeah,
Miho, which I'm like, okay, that's nice of you, mother, whoever you are, whatever your name is. I'm like, thanks for that, for my girl Carla.
yeah,
Y'all, very sorry if there's any mispronunciations. Blame bats for everything.
yeah.
I have no say or control over myself. I am a puppet being used by the whims of my creators. Please send help. They've locked me in a room. I can't leave.
Editing that out, editing that out. We can't let them know. All right, so we went inside and I kicked off my shoes. The cobblestone floor of the living room was cool and felt wonderful on my feet. A glorious concoction of smells entered my nose: chili pepper, black pepper, beef, cumin, onion, garlic, stewed tomatoes. Oh, that does sound good. The
Don't
combined,
at me right now.
yeah,
Don't at me. I'm hungry. I'm not living in uni anymore. I'm living at my parents' house for the summer.
yeah.
They
I
do
need
not
to make
make
bread.
they do not make food like this.
The combined scents sent waves of warmth through me, making me feel more at home than I had felt in over a year. Tears threatened to erupt. Mom led me to the kitchen, where chili simmered in a stock pot. Oh, okay. So my husband sensei, um, him and I
Mm.
have talked about me eventually getting myself a stock pot. He has
Oh,
showed me the wonder. Like he has sent me videos. That my husband sensei, he has sent me videos on Facebook. About the wonders you could do with a stock pot. I need one.
hmm. I don't even know what a stock pot is. If I'm being so real with you.
It's a really big pot.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's just a really big pot. All right. Yeah, my mom has one of this, but this is how she makes our mashed potatoes. We make them in that big old pot.
Yeah, it's the really tall one, the
But
one that you look like you could fit a toddler in. I'm pulling up
Oh,
Google search for
in
the
sleepaway camp.
fellow. Yeah, for the people who don't know what it is, which I mean probably
Yeah,
isn't that
Bat
many.
King will cover all this in editing. Yo, Bat, slip a dog on the screen. Make it bark. Put some sparkles there.
Woof woof.
Audience clapping sound. Woo! I'm ready to see this one. I'm ready.
Yeah, I will. Considering we haven't been here that long, um, I don't mind doing it.
Ooh,
I think I'll be able to actually edit that in because I'll
oh,
have spoons by
perfect.
that point.
We
So
got we
anyway,
gotta we gotta get we gotta get into this story though, because we are not done chapter 1 and it's been like 50 minutes. We gotta make it through. We gotta grind it
oh
out.
yeah, true, true. It's gonna be so long. Um, which honestly, if there's stuff where I'm like, okay, we do not need to hear this,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
then
edit
you
it
can
out.
just cut it out. Yeah. No dirt. What is it? No dirt off my back.
No skin off my nose.
No no skin off my nose.
Yeah, that's what
How
I've heard.
does that make sense?
I guess doesn't bother me, doesn't affect me.
Oh, cannot wait for you to be saying all this in Spanish.
Yeah, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Maybe. If not,
You
I'll
got it.
just have my
I believe in
mother-in-law
you.
kill me.
Yeah. Yep.
She
Yeah.
she poured me a bowl and sprinkled cheese, raw onion, and jalapenos on top. My stomach growled, reminding me I hadn't eaten since breakfast. I'd skipped lunch, and the most I'd had since was a singular bite of the queso con carne before Zach threw it. I sat down, scooped up a spoonful, and blew. As I took the first bite, my eyes began to water. It was the single most delicious thing I'd ever eaten. Not just because the food itself was tasty, but also because it reminded me that I was safe at long last. I tried my best to hold back the floodgate of tears, but they kept coming as I was hungrily wolfing down spoon after spoon into my mouth. Mom placed a hand on my cheek and whispered, Sana sana colita de rana, sino sana hoy, sanara mañana.
Let's Google Translate. Let's see what she said. Let's see what
Actually,
she
I think it
said.
says it says that right there tomorrow. Heal, heal,
Oh,
frogtail. If it doesn't heal today, it will heal tomorrow. Oh, that's cute.
that's cute.
I broke down in her arms, unable to hold back any
Oh,
longer. I cried harder than I'd ever cried in my life, drenching the front of her shirt. She stroked my hair, humming softly to soothe my weary soul. It took a while to compose myself enough to eat. Dad had vanished to the porch with a six-pack of beer while I was crying. Oof,
yeah. Friggin' my daughter's home.
relatable.
Bad day for Papa here. Probably a real stressful day. You need a few beers. That's all
Yeah,
right. 6-pack for yourself, of course. I guess you can share some of it, but
yeah. I figured he was just being a traditional Southern man and not wanting to deal with anything emotional. Mood. After a quick shower and a change of clothes, I joined him on the porch. Dad was sitting on a rocking chair his father-in-law had made for them as a wedding gift. Laying across his lap was his father's old hunting rifle, which he usually kept in a pot next to the front door. Dad was already halfway through his second beer when I sat next to him, using a wooden stump as a stool. He passed me a beer, and the two of us sat in silence, just watching the night sky and listening to the sounds of nature. As Dad was on the final dregs of his third beer, he said, Emily is single.
she's been single her whole life.
I chuckled.
She's not my type anyways, but thanks.
I meant it. Although he still wasn't accepting of who I was, he was still trying to look out for me, even if he was misguided in his attempts. Besides, I wasn't entirely sure she wanted to talk to me.
Ooh, drama between Emily and Carla? Question mark?
Oh, Zach probably caused it!
Zach! Oh, who caused it? A man.
Yeah, but yeah, they
Think on that, philosophers.
how Tina's writing these parents, how complex they are is so refreshing and good.
What I like about stories like this is that they aren't really desperate to fill in everything that was left behind. There's definitely history that's just it's not really talked about because from the narrator's perspective, it doesn't need to be addressed. It's just something that's I don't know if this is the right way to phrase this, but it's like in the bones of the story, you know what I mean? Like it's not
Yeah.
something that the audience needs to have fed to them. They can already imagine that there's a lot of history between Emily and Carla. And I think especially when it's I'm not sure what Carla's sexuality is, but being trans feminine, uh trans femme and with Zach, like I'm sure that there is a lot of feelings there, and I think that it could be really hard for Emily seeing her best friend going into an abusive relationship, like striving for connection so badly that this is what
Hmm.
the result ends up being. Like affection and attention and love and intimacy, and it's like it all sounds great, but it got her into this pretty terrible fucking position, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and again, like we mentioned earlier, the isolation of an abuser is
Mm.
massive. So at some point, they've probably had a fight where Carla told Emily, "Go fuck yourself. I don't need you."
Yep, you got your man now.
Yeah, and but yeah,
Yeah.
like all my flowers to Tina. Like that complicated
For sure.
relationship of transphobic. There is a part of your parents who are never going to accept you, but they
Mhm.
still love you. It doesn't excuse the pain that they cause, but you can still accept that they love you.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just thank you, Tina, for letting
Thank
us cover
you.
this.
No, it's a great story. I'm really enjoying it right now.
Yeah, Dad was quiet. When you're raised by someone who doesn't talk much, you learn to gauge different kinds of silence. This kind of quiet made me a bit nervous. It felt like he wanted to say something, but either couldn't or wouldn't. After a moment, he finally got up, finished his beer, grabbed his empty bottles, and handed me the rifle. We usually kept the gun with us when we sat on the porch in case of predators, like Zach. Considering I literally couldn't hit the broad side of the barn, me holding the gun was largely just tradition. Get some rest, he instructed me. Before he left, he glanced my way. You did the right thing in coming back here, he said. He placed a
Oh,
hand on my.
I don't think you did the right thing, Carla. I have a bad feeling about this house. I have a bad feeling about it.
Compared to Zach, though, this might be heaven.
Compared to Zach, I'm just like I whenever somebody says, "Hey, you did the right thing coming to X location," I feel like that you did not do the right thing. I feel like that this is oh dear, I'm nervous.
Yeah, but I can also, from another perspective, um, this dad lost contact with this kid that he does love. You know, boy or girl, loves. Even if he doesn't accept
Mhm.
he loves. And he might be scared that she's going to run away again and that she's going to fuck off
Mhm.
again. Um, and so saying, hey, you are safe. We love you. But saying it
Mhm.
in not as emotional
In a horror
words.
story, it's unfortunate. It's a sweet thing, but it is a horror story. So I'm like, it's like
True.
saying, "Hey, I'll be right back, baby," after you just finished doinking it out and your camp counselors and Jason Voorhees. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're
True.
inviting the tropes to get into you here.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I forgot we were reading a horror story. That's like
Yeah.
actually horror and not just the horrors of relationships. He placed a hand on my shoulder, causing a knot to get caught in my throat. He then went into the house. I was alone with my thoughts. Calm. That was something I hadn't felt in a long time. Part of me didn't believe I deserved it. Oh, man.
That's rough.
Rough, and I am, man, Tina, so real.
Tina, is there going to be some religious guilt in this story? I hope so. I really do love a little religious guilt horror story, and I'm seeing one of my favorite. It feels so weird to say it's one of my favorite words, but I just love it when it's like used in a story where it's like an abomination. It's like, especially for something as normal to me, at least, as like being trans. It's like, that's so insane. Like, that's so insane for you to call somebody an abomination for that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Back to the story. Oh my gosh, Bats, we've been at this for forever. We haven't finished chapter 1 yet.
yeah, but you know what? You know what?
It's
We're
a
gonna
fun
edit
time.
out that really big conversation that we just had, so the audience won't know.
Audience, you don't get to know shit, alright? You're not part of the cool club, alright? You just have to listen to our leftovers. And we're talking about all of you in here, by the way. Every single viewer, we are shit talking you.
Okay, so back into it. Um,
Okay, yeah.
how could I? As a trans girl, I was an abomination unto the Lord, thy God. People around me really seemed to love that word, abomination. No, I couldn't think like that. My dad drove for hours in the middle of the night to rescue his child from an abusive relationship. Guilt boiled in my stomach. I needed a distraction. I walked over to the chicken coop. The pleasant sound of trilling greeted my ears. As I kneeled down, the sound of tiny claws on wood chips approached me. A gray and white speckled hen leaned against the wire fence and poked her beak through. Her name was Greta. I ran my finger along her beak, making her close her eyes and lean into the touch. It was safe to say that I missed her. I opened the coop and scooped Greta into my arms. She rested her head into my pit, making contented noises, which brought a smile to my face. As I ran my fingers along her feathers, I felt a bald spot on her chest. It wasn't unusual, but it wasn't something to ignore. I brought Greta onto the porch and placed her on my lap, letting her nestle in. Under the porch light, I noticed something dripping down her cheek. It almost looked like a tear, but it was viscous with a slight green hue.
Leave! 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 Leave!
Uh-oh.
Now is the
Uh-oh.
time to go. Now, sorry, alarms are off. Your fucking chicken is going bald and crying green sludge, and y'all aren't gonna worry about that?
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Yep.
You have every reason to just say, hey, thanks for giving me the night off. I'm gonna go find my own apartment now. Bye-bye, guys. See you later. Oh,
But she
dear.
can't, not in
Well,
this economy.
not in this economy, unfortunately. It is a
So
two-person
she's stuck
household.
here. She's stuck here for now.
No! With her. Oh, fuck, this is bad.
Looks like she missed you, Mom said as
Alright,
she stepped
I'm
onto the
getting back to
porch.
it.
Yeah, as she stepped onto the porch holding a cup. The smell of chocolate with a subtle hint of chili powder wafted my way. Ooh! She set the
Mm,
treat down on the log stool, then gestured for me to give Greta to her, which I did and picked up the hot chocolate.
something's wrong with her eyes.
I said. I know, Mom sighed heavily. All of them seem to be having issues. Bald spots, eye leakage. Some are having trouble standing, and none of them are laying anymore. I'm going to bring a couple of them into work with me, where I can run some tests. If I can't find anything, I know a vet in Austin who I can send samples to. I remembered Mom had work in the morning, and Dad had to get up early to get the fields ready for planting. Guilt welled up in me.
Sorry for making you two stay up so late.
I said. Mija, you didn't make us do anything, Mom replied. We're just happy to have you back. Then a playful smirk. You know, Emily's single.
Dad told me. I appreciate that, but I'm not in a rush to get into a relationship right now. I just need some time for myself, but I promise to get back on the horse as soon as possible.
Which, insane.
Yeah. What are these people? This Carla
Stop
got
saying
hot
Emily's
cheese.
single.
Carla got hot cheese thrown on her, what, 3 hours ago? Y'all cannot be trying to set her up this early.
Yeah, give her a
Give it 24
break.
hours. Give it 24 hours
At
at the least.
least.
At least 24 hours before you drop that. You know what I mean? Crazy
Yeah.
work. Crazy work.
Mom kissed the top of my head. Don't rush. You've had a traumatic experience. Something like that takes time to heal. You can stay with us as long as you need to. I
Oh,
didn't quite believe her, but it was nice to hear, so I thanked her. Mom put Greta back in the pen and said, I'm going to bed now. Get some sleep, She paused. Mija. Her smile seemed quite weary. I wished her a good night, and she went inside. While I was thinking about it, I set the alarm on my phone so I could wake up early to help Dad out. I leaned back in the rocking chair and closed my eyes, letting the sounds of nature settle over me again. But there were none. No rustling of the animals, no chirping of the crickets, nothing. It was quiet, dead quiet. I gripped the rifle, wondering if there was a predator nearby. Quiet like this was usually a sign of one in the area. My eyes scanned the tree line, trying to find any sign of anything. All of a sudden, there was a high-pitched squeal like a race car burning rubber right before a race. But there were no other car noises. Just the screech, and even that felt off somehow. The noise was loud. So loud, it made my ears begin to ring. Then there was a momentary silence, and the screech erupted again. But this time, it sounded more animalistic. If I had to put an animal to the second sound, it would be the cry of a moose, which it couldn't be. They don't come down this far south. Canada! The second sound lasted longer than the first and trailed off to a wet gurgling noise, then quiet again. I stood up, holding the gun in my trembling hands. It was doubtful if I could hit anything, even when I was calm and sober. I glanced down at the 3 bottles, 2 of which were empty and one of which was almost so. It was late at night after a traumatic evening, and I've been drinking. The noise was probably nothing. It was probably a deer yelling or something, and my tired, inebriated mind was making it out to be more than it was. Mom and Dad were right. I needed sleep immediately. I quickly grabbed the bottles and went inside, locking the door behind me as I did. I kept saying it was a deer, but I couldn't quite convince myself that it was. Whatever it was, I didn't want it in the house. Sleep didn't come easily to me. When it did, my dream was terrible.
and now we are on chapter 2 of The Pink Lady. Chapter 2, The New Job. I found myself back in the apartment I shared with Zach. In the other room, I could hear my mother crying and screaming Deuteronomy 22:5 at the top of her lungs. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abominations unto the Lord thy God. Her words were both English and Spanish, like the two languages were layered on top of one another. I was standing in the bathroom with the door open wearing a robe. I had just gotten home from my work. My head was throbbing and Mom's screaming wasn't helping. I was staring into my reflection, slowly dissociating from what was happening around me. Suddenly, Zach was behind me, gently wrapping his arms around my middle and kissing the nape of my neck. I leaned into his touch, pressing my body weight against his. He was comfortable. Zach pulled at the tie of my robe, letting it fall open. Not tonight, I sighed. Before I knew it, he grabbed my hair and slammed my face into the mirror. The glass cracked, cutting into my forehead. Blood dripped down into the sink as Zach quickly tossed my robe aside, trying to look at anything other than what was about to happen. I turned my head so I could look at the door. My mother was standing in the hall outside the bathroom holding up a pink dress. She was shouting, "Abomination! Abomination! Abomination!" over and over and over again, her mouth getting wider with each repetition. Soon her mouth was far wider than it should have been, and the word horrifically morphed into something else, that bizarre sound I heard last night. I finally awoke. My headache from my dream followed me into the real world. My blurry surroundings spun around me for a moment before coming into focus. The strange sensation was coming over me, something wasn't expecting. The bed felt lonely. Part of me had hoped to wake up to see Zach's face close to mine. Sometimes I'd just lay in bed and watch him while he slept. I would admire the plumpness of his lips, the lusciousness of his eyelashes, or even how this one hair on his eyebrow would always go in a different direction from the rest. Pushing those thoughts to the back of my mind, I stood up with a heavy sigh and was immediately insulted by the mirror. Fuck, I looked awful. My hair was a bird's nest, and it looked like I could have carried rice in the bags under my eyes. Most frustrating of all was the stubble on my chin, a constant reminder of what I was. The sun shone down on me through the window. It was very bright, much brighter than it should have been. I checked the time. It was past noon. Fuck. I'd meant to wake up earlier so I could help Dad out. Quickly, I rushed downstairs, trying to get the knots out of my hair with my fingers. Dad was standing in the kitchen with a teenage boy. They were both covered from head to toe in dirt and were sweating buckets. The boy was lanky, with freckles and a mess of red hair on his head. When I stepped into the kitchen, his eyes wandered up to my legs and to my chest, where they lingered for a moment. I crossed my arms, trying to hide my lack of a bra. Then those eyes reached my face. As soon as he saw the stubble, his face contorted into a look of disgust. It was a reaction I was used to.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, that's rough. Fuck. What a pervy little kid. What a fucking
Yeah,
dork. What a fucking dork. You fucking stare at a girl's tits and then you see, oh, it's a and you have the right you think you have the right to be disgusted by that? What a joke.
yeah, like,
What a little
fuck
bitch.
off.
Ugh.
You're just jealous a woman has more facial hair than you're ever able to grow in your lifetime.
Mhm.
Because women are just
Uh
great like that. Anyways,
mhm.
morning.
Dad grumbled, standing up to make me a cup of coffee. I happily accepted, sipping at the dark nectar. It rejuvenated me. Sorry for sleeping late. I meant to get up to help you, I said.
You're fine. I got Paul here getting in some community service hours for school.
Dad replied, jabbing a thumb at the kid. I nodded and looked at Paul. Hey, I'm Carla, I waved, trying to be as friendly as I could. Paul's upper lip twitched and he grunted, clearly not wanting to talk to me. I shrugged and turned to Dad again. Hey, can I get a ride to town? I want to go looking for a job.
You sure?
Dad asked, surprise seeping through the gravel in his voice. Well, I'm living under your roof again, I said. I should be helping out. I don't want to be a burden. Dad cocked a brow and turned to Paul. Out,
Outside.
he ordered. The kid got up, still glaring at me, and left the room.
You're not a burden.
Dad sighed.
Look, kid, you need your rest.
I was taken aback by what he said. His words sounded like they should have come from Mom. Well, maybe Mom would have said it in a more tender way. Still, it took me a moment to respond. Thanks, but even if I'm not helping financially, I still want a distraction for myself.
Sure, I'll give you a ride, but I'll need to come back to work on the fields. Call me when you're ready to come home.
Dad replied. Then his eyes lit up like he remembered something.
Try Pedro's. Paul works there, and Pedro's on the verge of firing this hippie stoner that works there.
I nodded, grabbed a quick breakfast, shaved, and we headed out. My hometown is the definition of quaint. Almost all the businesses here have been passed down through the generations, and the very few corporate places we had stuck out like swollen pimples on picture day. The town always looked warm and inviting. Sometimes it felt like I was on the set of a movie. I could almost imagine a Christmas rom-com being filmed here with overworked interns spraying fake snow everywhere. A mental picture came to mind of actors sweating their asses off in down coats while the Texas summer sun tries to melt them. I do not know that word. What is this word?
Schadenfreude. Basically, I'm
Oh,
happy
Schadenfreude.
picturing someone else's
Oh,
suffering.
oh, Schadenfreude. Oh, Schadenfreude. Oh, Schadenfreude. I don't know how to edit that. Yeah.
All
Oh,
good.
German word. Soon, Dad dropped me off in the parking lot at Pedro's grocery. Beyond the windows was the hustle and bustle of people going about their days. The people looked as warm as their town, even if they were secretly anything but. They would flash joyful smiles when talking to you, but call you slurs the instant they thought you weren't listening. No wonder I was so desperate to escape this place. I took a deep breath before entering the cold yet well cared for building. The doors opened for me, blasting me with cold air. Pedro was an old family friend, so I made my way to his office and tapped on the door, which quickly opened. A bulbous, balding man stepped out, a thick cigar dangling from his lips. He looked like a used car salesman in his yellow button-up shirt and large checkerboard tie.
Carlos, Jesus boy, welcome back.
Pedro cheered, clapping me on the back.
What are you doing in town?
Broke up with my boyfriend, I replied, staying with my folks for a little bit. Dad said you were hiring? Well, he actually said you wanted to fire a hippie, but that's basically the same thing coming from him.
Good people for letting you come back.
Pedro pulled me into his office, which was filled with mountains of paperwork and a computer that looked like it was from the 90s.
Yeah, the dumbass keeps getting stoned on the clock. I'm not against a little green, but not while you're supposed to be working.
He shook his head in disapproval.
Anyways, I'd love to have you on the team. Let's just get your paperwork straightened out, and I'll show you the ropes.
He started typing my information onto his database, a lot of which he already knew, like name and address and such. As he was typing, he asked,
So, why did you and, whatever his name was, break up?
I'd rather not talk about it. Pedro scoffed loudly and said with a sneer,
I saw what he looked like. All those piercings and tattoos. I knew he was bad news from a mile away. He's better in the rear view, if you ask me, or maybe in the slammer.
He then smacked my knee and grinned, showing off his yellowing teeth.
Maybe this time you can find yourself a nice gal. Hope the one with big titties that won't mind you messing up your body like you do.
Damn!
Oh,
What a freak!
God. I hate. Like,
Oh, that's so. It. Oh, it's so soon. Why is everybody trying to pressure Carla into getting into a relationship? She
yeah,
just got out of one.
and
Give her a goddamn minute.
the constant casual transphobia. Like,
Oh
again,
my
that,
god, which is so it's very well written because like Carla doesn't even notice it. Well, she does notice it, but she doesn't acknowledge it because it's like, yeah, this is what happens all the fucking time.
yeah,
And
like
it's
it,
like people are dead naming her. People are calling her like they're expecting her to end up with like a woman. It's like it yeah, wow. This is props to Tina the Rose. This is really well written.
yeah, I'm
I
sending her
enjoy
a
it.
message going, hey girl, you doing okay these days? You deserve the world. Um, but yeah, the hopefully one with big titties that won't mind you messing up your body like you do. Like, for some reason, I feel like
That's
that
so
was
gross.
pulled from a real thing, unfortunately. Like, I feel like that was a
Yeah.
direct quote from somebody at some point. Like,
I
I
have
love you, but I
I have
don't accept your lifestyle.
I have stories like that where I just make the characters as like nasty as you can, and it's like, God, I just what an asshole thing to say. Oh my God.
Yeah, and the fact that,
Okay.
like, this transphobia is so insidious, but yet
Mhm.
they don't even seem to clock it that what they're saying is so horrifically rude.
I don't think they're even. I don't think that they even clock that it is transphobic. I
Exactly.
don't think that's crossing their mind. I think they're just like, oh, like why is this? And not that I'm agreeing with what it's like. Oh, why is this guy doing this? You know what I mean? And it's like, well, Carla is not a guy. Carla is a woman. She's a trans woman. Why can't y'all respect that? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Oh my goodness. But yes, back to it.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, continuing on. I forced a smile, though I could feel my eyes start to twitch. As we finished getting my information in, he printed me out a new schedule. I'd start work the next day. I thanked him and he pulled me over to the deli. He started showing me how to operate the slicer and the scale, how to input orders into the POS system, various cleaning procedures, and so on. I found it relatively simple, if a bit boring. When he was done training, he made me a foot-long turkey sub. It was Mom's favorite, so I figured I'd drop by her place and share it with her. The animal shelter Mom worked at wasn't too far from Pedro's. It was a friendly-looking blue building with large paw prints everywhere. The sign above the front door showed a little girl hugging a puppy. The girl in the picture was someone I went to school with, but I couldn't remember her name. Lily? Lana? It was something with an L. She was one of the low-tier popular girls. She was someone you often saw with the actual popular girls, but unless you were in that clique, she kind of blended into the background. I stepped into the shelter, thankful for the AC. Despite the town being pretty walkable, the Texas heat made walking an absolute nightmare. As friendly as the exterior looked, the inside was sterile and looked more like a hospital than a place where a child got her first pet. At the front desk was a woman named Gladys. She wasn't super old, only in her 50s, but incredibly wrinkly for her age. It was the result of a lifetime of hard, outdoor work without enough water. Her red hair looked like a dye job, but was surprisingly natural. She peered at me through glasses that were so thick that they could have been used to spy on Martians on a cloudy day.
Please let me be Gladys. Please let me be Gladys.
You can be Gladys, you can be Gladys.
Okay. Carlos, Camilla's in the examination room.
Great voice, 10 out of 10. She said with a smoker's croak, gesturing behind her lazily. I flashed her a quick smile before heading into the room she gestured to. Paprika, a golden comet hen, was sitting on the metal table in the center of the room. Her chest was completely bald, exposing wrinkled pink skin. I actually forgot that there was some weird shit happening with the
Yeah,
chickens, because
same.
the transphobia is the real scary part of the story.
Exactly.
And then all the chickens are getting fucking radiation poisoning or whatever.
Poor babies.
Oh no. Her chest was completely bald, exposing wrinkled pink skin. Her beak hung open, her movements sluggish. Took a moment for her to turn her head in my direction. There were needles on the nearby counter.
Don't mind her. I pumped her full of drugs.
Mom said as she was washing her hands. I presented Mom with her half of the sandwich.
Oh, Mija, you are a godsend.
She took the food and started munching. Any idea what's wrong with her? I asked.
None whatsoever.
Mom sighed and gestured to some vials filled with a reddish-brown sludge.
Greta and Paprika's stools have blood in them. I'm sending those samples to my friend in Austin. Hopefully she knows what's going on with them.
I grimaced before taking a bite out of my sandwich. As we ate, Mom's eyes brightened up.
Oh! Helen is going to be staying with us for a while. She's renting out the guest room.
I blinked. Who? I asked.
You know, Helen! My friend from high school. Oh, wait. Oopsies. Hang on, let's take it back. You
Mom's
know,
hand.
Helen!
Mom's hands waved excitedly.
My friend from high school? She married that stage magician in Vegas. They got divorced. She's staying with us until she can find a new place to live.
Still, no bells or whistles. I had no idea who Helen was. However, instead of saying that, I proclaimed, "Oh, yeah, Helen. How is she?"
Well, she's just been divorced, so.
Mom chuckled.
So maybe not great. I offered to introduce her to some bachelors at the church, but she says she wants to wait a bit before getting back on the horse. She's a bit like you in that way.
I nodded, trying not to be rude. Honestly, I'd never heard her talk about anyone named Helen, but who knows? Maybe I'd recognize her when I saw her. I took another bite and noticed Mom glancing at my breasts. I was wearing a loose-fitting shirt, but they were somewhat noticeable. I was expecting her to make some snide comment or quote some fake study that says estrogen is battery acid or something. My parents weren't exactly supportive when it came to my transition. I still remember Dad ransacking my room, trying to find my estrogen while Mom was crying that I destroyed my body. Her sobs still rang in my ears. They broke my heart. I knew they shouldn't, but they still did. I waited for Mom to say some kind of comment. She always did. I began to regret coming back, but it wasn't like I had much choice. Indeed, a comment came. However, it wasn't one I quite expected.
You know those pills will make it hard to have children, correct?
I nodded. For once, she actually got something right about my transition. She nodded as well.
Just so long as you know.
And with that, she crumpled her empty wrapper and changed the topic.
Thank you for the sandwich. How'd the interview go? Mason called earlier to say you were going to apply at Petros.
Not much of an interview. He gave me the job pretty much as soon as I said hello, I replied. Mom smiled and gave me another one of her bear hugs.
Okay, so
All right,
before
we're
we
going on a
break,
break so that you can go pee.
yeah, but before we do, I just want to say, um, goddamn that part about like mom always is going to make a comment. I don't know what it is, but she always will, and always bracing for it. Oh my god,
Doesn't
so
every
true,
mother?
so true. Like,
I think every single mother has something that they like to comment on, and that's just like one of their things, you know? I
and I
there's
don't know if it's
definitely
just
conflicting
mine,
spirit.
but boobs are also part of it for some reason.
Oh my god, my mom has been telling me, "Oh, you're getting a reduction. You're getting one like you are." And I'm like, "I don't think you understand. I'm dying with these." Like they're sticking around, babes. You know what I mean? It's definitely very different if you're openly queer, especially like openly transitioning with religious parents as well. Like, oh, that would be rough.
Yeah,
Holy.
it is definitely different, but hey, to all the trans women listening to this episode, just know that even people who, I don't want to say people who are like cis women because I'm not a cis woman, I'm non-binary, um, but like people people whose first puberty gave them tits. Um, Moms are always going to comment on them. They are always going to judge your body, unless you have like a really good mom. That then you might not.
That's their job. It's
Yeah,
their job. That's what they do. They give you
yeah,
body issues, and then one day when you have children, you give them body issues, and it's a never-ending cycle. It's gone on for centuries. So,
yeah,
that is the way it be.
yeah. Like reading this, I'm like, man, like even when you openly accept girlhood at a later age, girlhood is the
Mhm.
same across the board. Goddamn.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's amazing. Chapter
It's
3.
you.
Chapter 3, Old Friends. Pedro's groceries and the animal shelter Mom worked at, despite being rustic buildings, were clean and tidy. Charlie's 24-hour gas station, conversely, was a dump. The yellow plaster on the outside wall was cracked to all hell. It was tainted with decades of smoke, damage, and the ancient stomach contents of drunken vagrants. Oh, I love that phrasing.
Drunken vagrants. I like it because I'm like, if I was a guard in the year 1547 and I had to serve the king, and there was a bunch of drunkards in the, oh, you vagrants, get off the king. I love it. I love it very much.
I stepped inside, the bell chinging overhead. I didn't look, but just above the bell was the taxidermied head of a gator. It stared into the
Ugh.
back of my skull, sending shivers down my spine. It had been shot by Dad and Charlie about a decade ago when they visited the Everglades, where Charlie was born. I ignored the morbid thing above me and walked over to the counter. There, Charlie stood, surrounded by smokes, booze, and bags of gator jerky. She was looking through a Victoria's Secret magazine, but closed it when she saw me. God damn! I love this woman. She is the most Florida ever.
I love her because I'm reading her description and I'm like, yeah, this bitch is cool. And I've also read a little bit ahead and I'm seeing, oh, Somebody isn't transphobic, actually. For
Woo!
once.
Charlie
I'm excited to
was,
voice her.
yeah, Charlie was a squat, wide woman. What remained of her teeth were varying shades of yellow and black. Her sweat-stained shirt was more whole than fabric, and she wore a sun-bleached baseball cap that I was pretty sure she slept in. She's one of Dad's old army buddies. He was never a fan of women in the army, but he gave Charlie a pass since she'd saved his life. They carried him 3 miles to safety after a bullet grazed Dad's head and cracked his skull. They both got medals for that.
Carla.
Charlie greeted me with her southern whistle of a voice. She chewed on what I assumed was chewing tobacco. The recognition of me for who I was brought a smile to my face.
Charlie. It's been a while.
I replied. We reached over the counter to give each other a quick hug.
How are things lately? Same shit, different day.
Charlie grumbled.
What you doing back here, girl? I broke up with Zach.
I explained to her the situation. As I gave her the details, her mouth hung open more and more.
Jesus fucking Christ, hun.
Charlie sighed.
I'm so sorry that happened. Where you staying, hun? With mom and dad.
Charlie's eyes widened in shock.
Jesus fucking Christ, getting pegged by a unicycle. They seriously let you move back in? What demon did you have to suck off for that to happen? I'm pretty
I
sure the
love
demon's name was.
her.
Oh
I was
yeah,
trying so
I
hard to
love
not
it.
burst out laughing at that.
I love when women get to be conventionally, like, not conventionally attractive. They're just chill. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, chew your fucking tobacco, have your fucking rotted ass teeth, be super crass. I like it. I like her. She's fun. She's
I'm
fun.
headcanoning her as a lesbian. That's my guess.
Ah, yes.
She is so a butch
Possibly.
lesbian, and I love her. She is like,
Mhm.
yeah, sure, she's not conventionally attractive, but also how this woman
She's
talks,
cool.
she is the most attractive woman in the world to me.
Where was I?
I'm
Here.
pretty sure the demon's name was Zach.
I'm pretty sure the demon's name was Zach.
I joked.
But yeah, I'm staying here for a bit. I got a job at Pedro's. Dad's idea. Thought Mason didn't ask you to come here. I'm hiring too.
Charlie mumbled. I blinked in surprise.
You two are talking again?
I asked. She and Dad stopped talking when he found out she was who I was getting my estrogen from. Oh, ally!
Woo! Woo! Yes! Ally! This is an ally!
I'm
I'm
not
very
sure how
happy.
she got it, and frankly, I didn't want to know. Her and Dad got into a fist fight that left them both bruised and bloody. It was the only time I'd ever seen Dad raise a hand against a woman. I was worried for a long time that Dad would eventually go on to hit Mom, but she assured me they didn't fight as man and woman, they fought as friends and soldiers. She also said that if he ever tried hurting her, she'd turn his banana inside out.
Yeah.
Charlie laughed.
Back in January, old fuck started buying gas for me again. We just started doing small talk in March. How's the weather type shit. Maybe one day he asked me if I caught the game.
Strange. On one hand, I was glad he was rekindling his friendship with Charlie. But if he was on speaking terms with her, how come he never reached out to me? Charlie must have read my expression because she added.
Oh, we ain't that good yet. Maybe that's why he didn't point you in my direction.
She gave a half-hearted shrug.
Oh, well, if Pedro don't work out for you, you're welcome to swing by here.
She shot me a nearly toothless smile, then added,
And if you need a place to stay, you're welcome to crash on my couch. Thanks, Charlie.
I smiled back. I remembered what Mom said.
Do you know anyone named Helen?
Charlie shook her head.
She's apparently an old friend of Mom's.
I explained.
She's coming in from Vegas. Shit, really? Man, that sounds fucking nice.
Charlie laughed.
But nah, I ain't meet no one named Helen around these parts. Then again, I was more friends with Mason than Camilla.
She smirched.
Hey, she's shingle? Oh, she's
Lesbian
a lesbian!
confirmed!
She's a lesbian! You
I
were
am
right.
so
You clocked it.
happy. I'm so
I didn't want to
happy.
assume, but I was like, yeah, this woman does not get down on men. And now we know. She's go you, queen. Go you. Raise my fist.
Yeah.
What an icon Charlie is. Very proud of her.
I examined Charlie's unkempt appearance and cocked a brow. She flipped me the bird, making me laugh. I checked the time.
I need to get going. Hey, can I get some gator jerky for Dad? Buy one, get one free.
Charlie informed me, though I could find no advertising of such a deal anywhere in the store. Okay, this is so real. Um, like every time, it's like my family friends of ours owned a food truck, and when I was living
Mm-hmm.
in that city where that food truck was, um, and we'd go, I'd always get a discount from it. He'd be like, "Hey, don't tell
Oh,
your
that's
dad I'm giving you this discount. You're getting a discount."
no, that's cute. Just a nice little thing that you get to do. It's also just I think that that's cute. Just buy one get one free. Go Charlie, my woke queen, my ally, my lesbian icon. If she dies, I will. If she dies, I am not gonna be happy at all.
I am also going to ask Tina, "Hey girl, um you got any pictures of your characters?"
Oh yeah, like any artwork or stuff that we could like edit in at some point. Just to kind of get a picture of what they look like, or what are the girlies on TikTok? They call them face claims, you know? Like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what they look like. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. Um, ooh, there's drama up ahead.
Okay. So, after leaving, I pulled out my phone to call Dad. When I opened my contact list, I got a notification. A text from Zach. My heart sank into my stomach as I read the notification.
Oh, do you want to voice him or me? I can do it. I'm a good man voice.
Yeah,
I'm sorry I hurt you. I love.
I debated
Okay.
opening the text to read what all he wrote. His apologies were always very sweet and tender, but I knew now that they were meaningless. I decided against reading it and slid the notification to the side. Below Dad's number in my contacts was Emily's. We got into an argument about me being with Zach, and we hadn't talked since I left. I was right.
Mhm.
At the time, I thought she didn't understand him and was just siding with my parents for no reason. I guess I was the one who didn't understand him in the end. My thumb hovered over her name for a moment
Don't
before I
blame
pressed it.
yourself, Carla. Don't blame yourself for that.
Yeah, it's understandable. Um,
Oh, sorry. Continue on.
yeah, I held the phone up, hoping she'd answer. Soon, a groggy voice answered.
Oh, hey, Carla.
It sounded like she just woke up.
Emily, I know it's been a while since we talked, but guess what? I'm back in town. Since when?
Emily squawked, her voice cracking in excitement.
Since last night. Can I get a ride home? I'm at Charlie's. I'll give you the details in person.
I said, then added with embarrassment.
And you can give me the world's biggest I told you so. I'll be right there.
Emily squealed again. The sounds of fumbling could be heard before the call disconnected. I laughed a little. Oh, I like that she's already like, hey, I'm ready to
She's
take you
just
back.
I mean, I like a bit of character fighting, but I'm also like, you know what? Your friend obviously just got out of a shitty situation. It's good to just not really it's good to just kind of let that be what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she's been through enough.
Yeah, she doesn't need any more shit added into the pot here.
Yeah. It took about 20 minutes before a mud-stained pickup truck came to a screeching halt in front of me. The door opened. A hurricane in the shape of a woman descended on me. Emily hugged me tightly.
Fucking jerk. Why didn't you say anything when you came back?
Emily pulled on my cheeks. Her dirty blonde hair was tied in a messy bun. Her clothes were clean, but well worn with little holes, tears, and sun bleaching. A revolver hung from her belt. Not sure of the model, but I remember it being incredibly heavy last time I held it. I nearly dropped it. Emily teased me for that for ages.
I wasn't in a good headspace,
I admitted.
and I was embarrassed given our argument. I broke up with Zach.
Emily didn't verbally respond. Instead, she pulled the neck of my shirt over to the side to examine my burn. Sorrow was in her gaze, and my stomach clenched with guilt.
Where's my I told you so?
I joked, trying to lighten the mood somewhat.
Not getting one.
Emily sighed, not taking my bait. She pulled her hand away.
Fucking bastard! If he was here, I'd make him swallow his own balls. Mom said the same thing.
I chuckled.
Dad actually broke his nose. Wait, for real?
Emily gasped, her smile returning.
Bro, that sounds insane. Given how strong your dad is, I'm shocked he didn't punch a hole in his head. You've been watching Demon Knight too much.
I laughed before saying,
Look, I should have listened to you about him. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry.
Emily wrapped her arms around my neck.
It's fine, I promise. I'm just happy to have my friend back.
I hugged her back. She was tall enough that I could bury my face in her neck. Emily smelled pleasantly of hay and shampoo. I just held her, taking in her calming scent. I had to agree. It was nice to have my friend back. Soon, we got into Emily's truck and we started back home. As she drove, I asked.
Do you know anyone named Helen?
She shook her head, so I elaborated.
She was Mom's friend in high school. Apparently, she moved to Vegas to marry a stage magician. I think I remember my mom saying something about her.
Emily rubbed her chin.
I have Mom's old yearbook in my room. I'll see if I can look her up. Why you asking about Helen? She's coming over for a while.
I replied.
Mom kept acting like I knew her or something. Bro, I hate it when parents do that.
Emily groaned loudly.
Dad does it all the time. Hope I don't act like that when I'm that age. You probably will.
I teased.
Pretty soon, you're gonna start oversharing stuff to cashiers and throwing bread to ducks.
Emily pouted.
I prefer frozen peas.
She pulled up in front of my house.
Okay, so I'm not working right now, so I'll pretty much be able to give you a ride whenever you need it. Just shoot me a text. This ride was free, but any future rides, I'm gonna demand one of those pie-flavored canned coffees Pedro and Charlie sell.
She hugged me again.
Don't be a stranger, Carla. I promise I won't be.
I replied, tugging on her cheek as payback for earlier. When I went inside, Dad was sitting on the couch. A familiar scream erupted from the old boob tube that my parents had kept in pristine shape since the 70s. He was watching Frankenstein? Wolfman? I checked the screen. It was Wolfman. Hello to you too, Dad grumbled. You got the job?
Yeah, Pedro gave it to me on the spot.
I replied.
Sorry for not calling. Emily gave me a ride.
Dad smiled. Well, hot damn, he remarked. Things are looking up for you. Oh shit, me. It was then I noticed he was wearing slacks and a nice shirt.
Going out tonight?
Yeah, I ain't taking Camilla out on a date in a while. Pizza's in the oven. Just turn it on when you're hungry, he said, then tilted his head with a toothy smirk. How's seeing Emily? Did anything special happen with you two? I snorted.
Even if I was into girls, I doubt Emily would go for it.
You two went to prom together,
Yeah, as friends.
I reminded him, grabbing the bags of jerky and tossing them at him like frisbees. He caught them deftly.
She's been single her whole life and has never once lamented that fact.
Maybe it's not something she likes talking about. I sighed. This wasn't getting anywhere, so I changed the topic.
I also talked to Charlie. She says you two started talking again.
I wouldn't really call what we do talking. Dad groaned as he forced himself into a standing position. I'm going into town now.
A little early, isn't it? Mom doesn't get off work for another hour.
Dad shrugged and said, Don't wait up for us. He didn't seem to want to talk about Charlie. Maybe feelings between them were still pretty tense. He quickly left the house, forgetting to pause the movie. After he left, I turned the oven on and sent a text to Emily to invite her over. She had to decline. Apparently, she had a D&D game she hosted online on Thursdays. She did promise we'd hang out at the lake tomorrow, and even suggested I join the next campaign. The current one was wrapping up soon. Oh, good for Emily. I
Yeah.
agreed and left her to do her thing. When it was ready, I took my pizza to the front porch to enjoy the night air. Chickens clucked nearby, and Cinder was sniffing a terrified toad she had found. The frog was safer with Cinder than the chickens. I'd seen Greta grab a frog by the face, slam it against the ground, then swallow it whole. I shuddered. Chickens were fucking scary when they wanted to be. I started brainstorming ideas for a character for the game, chewing absent-mindedly on my pizza. Looking at Cinder, perhaps I could play a ranger. I'd have an animal companion, and it would be cool to have her in the... Cinder's head shot up. Head faced towards the tree line. The chickens went quiet. Yet again, not a single creature dared to make a sound. Not even Cinder, who would normally be whimpering or growling under these circumstances. A shrill squeal began to rise, but not as loud as last time. It didn't sound like a tire screech or a moose cry this time. I couldn't quite place the noise. Shit, I'd forgotten the gun inside. I slowly took up, focusing on the spot Cinder was staring at. There was something pale in the distance, something tall and thin. The squealing
A
became
white
more...
man! It's a white man!
No!
Run! Run! It's a tall, thin white man! Run!
Oh,
Carla! He's coming for you!
my
Run,
brother.
please! I'm telling you, it's an
Seriously.
epidemic among girls my age group. They love tall, pale white men. They do. And they're all evil. Run away from them, please.
Yeah, my brother isn't evil. He's... The last thing he ever
They all
texted...
got...
Last thing he ever texted me was KYS and a heart. That's just how
Yeah, my
brothers are,
brother
though.
My brother's a good guy. He took me out to the movies. We actually just saw Project Hail Mary. He took me out there
I love
yesterday.
that movie.
But he is a little evil, as all of them are. Just a
Yeah,
little bit, just a little evil.
yeah. My brother once ran down the stairs shirtless, and my caveman brain went, "Oh my god, a tree monster's coming to attack me."
He didn't even register it.
Yeah, but yeah. So
Oh
there's
damn.
some.
Okay, yeah, continuing on. This is creepy.
Yeah, suddenly, like we go from the horrors of transphobia to uh
Uh-oh, white man.
oh. There is something pale in the distance, something tall and thin. The squealing became more clear, and my heart sank. It was whistling. I grabbed the gun from inside and looked back at the tree line. The pale figure was gone. I looked around, trying to find any sign of it. Couldn't believe I'd forgotten that noise last night. The only reason I could imagine that I'd forget something like that was the tiredness in the beer.
Oh, sorry. I was yawning. Come on, Cinder. Come to Mama.
I spoke softly, trying not to be heard. Cinder didn't move.
Mira.
I said a little more sternly, in a vain attempt to catch the dog's attention. Cinder wasn't just scared. This kind of fear was deep. It was primal. Cinder was so terrified she dare not utter a peep, move a muscle, anything. She was like in place, and I did not want to imagine the kind of thing that would put her in such a state. Slowly, I inched towards her, being careful to tread lightly. I took a firm grip of her collar, eyes peeled for any sign of movement. It took us a few solid tugs, but Cinder finally budged. We rushed to the porch while I kept a firm grip on the rifle. Though I knew I was a terrible shot, I'd rather have it than not. While Cinder was inside, I pointed the gun in the air and pulled the trigger. It was an intimidation tactic. Any animal around these parts would run in fear of the sound. The gunshot echoed throughout the property. My ears rang for a moment before the world went silent again. Then, the whistling started again. I scanned the tree line again, seeing the pale figure again, but it was too dark to make anything out. Keeping my eyes on the thing, I slowly crept inside and locked the door. Cinder was cowering under the couch, whimpering softly. I watched the thing through the window, feeling around for my phone. I looked down for a second, finding it quickly when I did. The figure was gone. Okay.
Damn! What is this figure? Who is Tina the Rose? What are you plotting here? What are all the plans for this? I'm
Yeah,
her.
and goodness.
What I really like about Tina the Rose is that with the writing, I literally forget, like, oh, there's something I can see why it goes to the back of Carla's mind, because Carla just has a lot going on right now. She cannot be dealing with the supernatural on top of all of this. You know what I mean? Um,
absolutely.
I Yeah, I want more details. I want more like sense. I want more in this story because I'm interested in it. I want to know what this thing is. I do want Carla to get a nice place to live. I'm seeing another dream segment for chapter 4. I'm excited for that. I really like Tina the Rose's writing. It's
Yeah,
good. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's so good, and the distant Algonquin blood in my veins is making me shit my pants a little. Um,
Mm, mm.
that that's a creature. That's a creature whose name I do not want to utter for fear of summoning it. You never whistle at night.
No,
Like
I
that
saw
is
this
asking
one
for something to
story.
kill you.
Have you ever watched the channel Snarled or something scary? You know that? I'm
Yes.
wondering I'm wondering if this has something to do with that bone guy. If you know what that is,
Oh.
where he's this tall white figure and he's got a big sack of bones. And if you hear him whistling at night, he like goes and steals all your bones and stuff and puts them in his sack. But if you sleep through it, you're fine. So unfortunately, I do not think that this is gonna end up good for Carla if this is the case, if this is the inspiration for White Man of the Month here.
Fingers fingers crossed. Fingers crossed Carla survives. Fingers crossed the dog survives.
Yeah, fingers crossed. All right. On to chapter 4. Oh, chapter 4. The Lady in Pink, who I'm guessing is Helen. Mm.
Possibly.
All right. Let's chapter 4, The Lady in Pink. I was standing in the woods. The noon sun shone down on me and the stream trickled nearby. Next to me was the old swing that Dad made for me as a kid, but it looked brand new. Emily walked over to the water, but she wasn't the adult I knew her to be. She looked to be about 11 or 12. She was wearing a swimsuit. The dress that she had walked here in was hung clumsily over a branch. I stared at the dress. The light blue cotton was decorated in embroidered sunflowers. It looked soft, so soft I had the impulse to reach out and touch it. However, doing so would be weird, and nothing is worse than being labeled the weird guy. Still, I felt a strange longing that I couldn't explain. I dare you to put it on, Carlos! Emily laughed, putting me in a headlock. No, I'm a boy. That's girls' clothing, I protested. What are you, a sissy? Emily snickered, pulling hard on my ear. A boy can only ignore a dare so long before you get accused of being a scaredy cat, a chicken, a wimp, or worst of all, a sissy. Nothing was more demoralizing than being called a sissy. Yeah, I was being dared to do something that would make a sissy. I'm not a chicken, I whined. I didn't say chicken, Emily hummed. She knew how to press my buttons. Before I had the chance to say another word, she pulled the dress from the branch and tried to push it over my head. I tried to fight back, but eventually relented. Not only was Emily stronger than me, but fighting too hard would risk tearing her dress, and I didn't want to get her in trouble because of this. The dress slipped onto me, and I felt something strange. I was biting my lip, and my heart thud harder in my chest. A sensation of overwhelming joy was beginning to build in me, but I had no idea why. I turned to Emily, doing everything I could to avoid eye contact, but failing. How, How do I look? I stammered, my cheeks burning like hot iron. Emily gasped, eyes sparkling with excitement. I knew what she would say. Beautiful. It looks better on you than it does on me. You look ridiculous. Emily began to laugh. This is super funny. Thanks for making me laugh. My face fell, my heart sinking into my stomach. Emily was laughing and laughing, her mocking mirth rising with each passing second. I wanted nothing more than to melt with the earth and vanish where no one could ever perceive me again. I felt like a freak, like a. I gasped loudly as my secondary alarm blared. I swiped the alarm on my phone. I slept through the first alarm. Fuck! I sat up, stretching and yawning. I went downstairs where Mom and Dad were talking. Dad had the rifle in hand. They looked over as I entered.
Good morning, Miha.
Mom said, pouring me a cup of coffee. Morning, I replied. How was the date?
The less you know, the better.
Mom winked at Dad with a shake of her hips. I nearly retched.
Didn't find anything about that thing you told us about.
Dad said. I'd called them the night before about what I saw and heard.
If I had to guess, it's probably an albino doe. That or one with incredibly light fur. At a distance with them facing you head on, they'll just look like a weird thing.
And the noises?
Deer make some weird fucking noises.
Dad grumbled.
I'd be surprised if a lot of Indian myths didn't come from the noises those little freaks make.
It was true. They made weird noises. However, deer tended not to make a bunch of noise for a prolonged period of time. They were usually pretty quiet. The only exception I could think of is if they were hurt or crazy somehow. Maybe rabid?
Oh, when you get home, I need you to tidy up the guest room.
Mom said, interrupting my train of thought.
Helen's going to be coming in today. I'm picking her up from the airport later. We'll be here around 7 p.m.
I nodded. After a quick breakfast, I headed out for my first day on the job. The work was hard, but without the weight of the world Zach put on me, it wasn't a draining experience. After, I called Emily and grabbed a pie flavored coffee, cinnamon, nutmeg, sugar, brown sugar, the works. She drove up like a bat out of hell. She chugged the drink in 3 gluttonous gulps and tore out of the parking lot. Soon, we were at the lake. It was a quiet day. We were the only ones there apart from an old guy napping in a lawn chair a few yards away. Emily pulled off her shirt, revealing a dark green bikini top. I found myself staring at her breasts, having forgotten how well endowed she was. She even had a bit of underboob going. Felt jealous and somewhat inadequate.
Stopping for
Girl,
a
you should
second?
not feel jealous. You should not feel the underboob problem is real. All right, it is an epidemic. All
Oh
right,
my god.
bitches with big tits will know. You have to literally put deodorant under those underboobs because those bitches get sweaty.
And
All right.
like, I might edit this bit out, but like, so many pimples. The amount of fucking underboob
Oh my god,
pimples.
yeah.
Thank you for it
It's
not just being
crazy.
me. Like, I shower. I shower very regularly. But at the same time,
Gang,
almost
gang, we do shower. We do shower.
every time I do, like,
It's literally just
look at it, it's like, bam.
it's literally just boob sweat, unfortunately. It is a menace. Society, this is what we need to be solving next, okay? This is our problem that needs to be addressed, okay? Why why must our boobs be sweaty? Question mark.
Yeah,
I want a philosopher to answer this. I this needs to be answered.
yeah. But also, in the serious, I actually want to make a serious comment here.
Mhm.
Um, it's like, yeah, hard work, but without the abuser, it's fucking easy. Like, when
Yeah.
I left my girlfriend,
Mhm.
um, everything became so much easier. The just existing became so much better. Like, I broke up with that person, and the next day I was skipping down the street to school, even though that breakup and my parents divorced same night. I was still skipping down the street because I'm
Oh
like,
my
I'm
god,
finally free.
what?
Yeah, it was so I was like, okay, I'm going to need to break up with my girlfriend. I then have to like stand up for some sort of class activity. And then like I sneak a peek at my phone and I look at, oh, the siblings group chat that I've texted.
Mm.
Mom and dad are divorced. What?
That's a crazy lore drop.
Yeah, that was, and then
That's
like
crazy.
2 minutes after that, I had to do my own presentation. It was a crazy night.
Yeah, that just seems like a lot to handle in a very short amount of time.
It was a crazy night, but like
Mm-hmm.
everything becomes so much
Became
easier
easier
once that
after.
abuser is gone.
Well, it's just like it's something that you don't have to constantly be worrying about. It literally is like you're getting unchained, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have to have your heart drop every time you get a text
Something
notification.
happened. Yeah.
You can actually
Well,
fucking
I'm glad
sleep.
that that happened for you, and I'm glad that you're in a better space now with better
Yeah,
people.
absolutely. But
Dude,
yes,
I can't believe you're 5 years older than me and you're already married. That's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, damn, is there a timeline where Amelia finds the emo boy or girl that she's destined to spend her life with?
I think
Who
so.
knows? Maybe one day.
But back to the story.
Okay, continuing on. Did you bring a swimsuit? Emily asked. I did. I mumbled, feeling self-conscious. I pulled off my own shirt, revealing my light blue bikini. Damn, girl, you really have grown. Emily poked at my breast. What are you now? A B cup? Still an A, I sighed. It had taken most of my life going from a boy's chest to an AAA, to an AA, and now an A, where I had been for years. Sadly, the doctor said I shouldn't expect much more than I had now. I glanced at Emily. She had to be at least a DD, maybe even a G. Mm, a G?
A G, goddamn.
That's it. How is Emily built in this story? Because I was not imagining a woman with like literally gigant like G cups are like DD. I know plenty of girls who have. It's just like normal with the proportions and stuff. A G cup? G? That
Yeah,
that's
I'm
crazy.
picturing her as definitely a thicker girl, and I love
Thicker
it.
lady, yeah.
Yeah, thicker lady,
Mhm.
and I love it. But
Mhm.
also
Mhm.
considering just how mystical and strange cup sizes are, like
Mhm.
goodness, like trying to get the right measurement is awful.
Oh, it's impossible when you're like bigger. It's impossible when you have like a thicker like it's hard. No clothes are made for you. You know what I mean? It's difficult.
Absolutely.
Like I
Yeah.
go I go shopping with a lot of my friends. A lot of them are just very small, like petite little ladies, and I'm like, "Gang, that works for you. I cannot fit any part of my body in this tiny little top that you want to get." So,
Yeah.
I'm like I cannot get one boob in there without it being a hassle. I'm very
Oh my
sorry.
god,
It's just the way it is.
the pretty dresses with the built-in bras, they can be really
Oh,
big, but the fucking the boobs, the bra, oh my god.
yeah.
It pisses me off.
I it's difficult. I'm like there's very specific things that I'm like, "Oh yeah, I like it." But like a lot of time when I go shopping, it's like I just got to go in with the explicit thing of like, "Hey, I got to just find something that fucking fits." You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Struggles of the
absolutely.
world.
But yeah,
Hey,
thicker ladies
Emily
representing.
said. Yep. Hey, Emily said, her voice growing more tender. She put an arm around me. You look beautiful, really. Besides, you have a lovely shape and you can rock a plunging neckline better than I ever could. Thanks, I mumbled bashfully. It really did make me feel better. Or at least it did, momentarily. Emily's laughter from my dream began to echo in my head. Hey, remember that time at the stream when I tried on your dress? Oh shit, that was like a decade ago! Emily rubbed her chin. I hated that thing, but Mom, God bless her soul, made me wear it. She used to say a lady your age shouldn't be running around half naked like that. She could have made me throw on shorts and a shirt, but she was trying to make me a little bit more girly. She smiled at me. I remember being shocked how beautiful you looked. I saw that look in your face. It was like something lit up in you that day. I smiled, my mind becoming at ease again, and the laughter died out. We went to the water's edge and sat our feet down in it. How was the game last night? I asked. Frustrating, Emily groaned. Our barbarian tried to seduce the archlich. I made him roll a number of charisma checks. Unfortunately, the idiot really rolled well, and of course, the strength-based character with a penalty in intelligence has a high charisma for some ungodly reason. I don't even know what his damage is. The lynch has no fucking skin. How's he gonna blinker? Sounds like a riot. Can't wait to join the next campaign. I chuckled. Emily's face fell. She sat staring down at the water, looking ashamed. There isn't going to be a next campaign, she said. After the game, I got a confirmation email from the college I applied to. I got accepted. I'm going to Austin soon. I'm going to be learning about animal science.
Oh, that's
My
not
heart
gonna stop a
shattered.
campaign. Like you can.
I was, yeah, you're fine. You can still do it. It's already an online campaign, anyways. But I mean, school is stressful. I tried having a D&D campaign when I was in university with some of my friends. Just didn't work out. Everybody gets
Yeah,
busy. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
DMing might be difficult, but yeah, like
I did get
throughout.
invited to one by one of my friends, though. She's super smart and stuff, and she was like, "You should join. You should be in a campaign." And I was like, "Okay, sure." So eventually, I'll have to make a character. Okay, here's what I will say. I feel like that Carla shouldn't be that upset about it, realistically. I'm
Yeah,
like, you didn't speak to your friend for like a year. You've only seen her for a day. That's what I'm saying. I think that this story would benefit from a bit more time being spaced out. Because right now, this is all happening within the span of 2 days. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I feel like a little bit more space would give, like, I mean, at least when I'm writing, I've been writing a few different stories, and like I normally like writing like single day stuff. Almost all of my stories are single day posted, but I've been trying to work with timing, and I got the thing from Pioneer where it's like you don't have to go over every single day. You know what I mean?
yeah. But yeah, no, like it's the. I think part of it is um who Emily is. Like I just got my friend back, and I've realized I've missed her so much just for that to be torn away like very quickly after. Um, like I do think it would mean a bit more if it was like a month, but I do also still get it, and also like very quickly we're already getting this safety net taken away from her, which will go
Yeah.
good in the horror, especially because we got Helen coming about.
I I just that's just my thought for how I would go about this, and obviously that's just my opinion. I just think a bit more spacing would be good. That way, it's like because they've only seen her one time. Like we've only seen Emily once before this, so I'm like I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, I hope we do get to see more from Emily and like be able to see like kind of like retroactively, okay, this is why Emily means this much, like really hammer it in.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, I get that. I get what you're on about. I'll continue. My heart shattered, but I forced a smile. That's excellent. I pushed her shoulder, making her lip curl a little. I know, but you just got back and now I'm running off. She sighed, then glanced at me. I wish I could take you with me, but I'm gonna be living on campus. Hey, don't worry about me. I'll be fine, I insisted, laying my head on her shoulder. Maybe one day I can apply and we can be roommates. I didn't believe it, but I wanted to make Emily feel better. She rested her head on mine and responded, I'd like that. After a while, Emily dropped me off at my house. We hugged for a long time, trying to make the moment last as long as we could. Is she leaving like now?
Um,
It,
I think
Emily,
like
you,
it's
you,
soon.
you can stick around for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I also think
Okay. Maybe it is just like the moment. Like it's just like a good day and you want it to end on a good note. Maybe. All
Yeah.
right. Buh, buh, buh. I half considered inviting her inside, but I had to get the guest room ready for Helen. Eventually, I stepped out of the truck and she pulled away. Dad's truck was in the driveway, but Mom's car was gone. They were probably at the airport. On the porch, Cinder was standing and facing the house. I reached down to pet her and noticed how stiff she was. Cinder? I asked. No response. I slapped my knee. Still nothing. What the hell was going on with her? I pulled on her collar. She moved slightly, but her eyes were still focused on the house. Mira, I said sternly, putting a hand on Cinder's cheek and making her look at me. The poor girl looked absolutely terrified, just like last night. I stroked her fur, whispering that everything would be all right. No, it's the green goop! No! No! Then
Goopy!
I saw something. Then I saw something in her eye. It was hard to notice at first, but it was unmistakable. Dripping from her eye was that same vicious gunk that the chickens had been dealing with. The door opened, and Cinder started barking loudly. I'm putting in a bear trap right now.
Yeah.
I'm putting in a bear trap. Um, I think that this is going to be like Gladys from Weapons, if you've ever seen that.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would assume
Absolutely. This
is
woman
going to
is going to be
happen.
diabolical.
um, oh God, yeah, that's my prediction for this because I saw even the first little blip and I was like, okay, after everything that's happening, I have a feeling that there's going to be some witchy stuff. I'm wondering how the story is going to wrap up. Well, I know that it's not finished yet. It's only on chapter 5 for publication, but then we also have a little bit more, so,
Yeah, we have the full thing.
Yeah. But we're only going to stop at chapter 5 just cuz that's all that's been read right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
at the end of chapter 5.
standing in the doorway was the most out of place woman I'd ever met. She was tall, looking to be the same height as Dad. Her platinum blonde hair was done in a 1950s style bob that ended in perfect curls. Her vibrantly pink dress clung to her ample chest before flaring out at her hips. She wore white kitten heels that matched her lace gloves and the pearls around her neck. Topping it off was an absurdly large wide-brimmed hat. She was incredibly beautiful, but didn't look to be Mom's age. No, she couldn't have been older than her early to mid-30s.
You must be Carlos.
The woman gasped in the most sickly sweet southern accent I'd ever heard. She rushed over and planted a sticky smooch on my cheek, leaving behind residue that felt gross on my skin.
I'm Helen. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Um, hi? I nervously stepped back, nearly falling off the porch. The woman pulled me close.
Careful there, sweetie. We don't want you bopping your pretty little head now, do we?
Her touch was tender and she smelled of lavender. Her red lips were full and looked soft. I stared into her eyes and was confused. They looked blue or were they green? Strange in some lights, they looked like they could be either color or both at the same time. Those eyes seemed to be shifting between the two hues like the water changes color at the beach as the waves go in and out.
You're going to make me blush from staring so much, sweetie.
Helen hummed in a flirtatious tone. I shook my head. The fuck? Why was I staring? Um, I need to call my parents, I said. I grabbed Cinder by the collar and pulled her away from the house. She was growling, hackles raised. She seemed to calm down somewhat as we walked down the driveway. I called my dad.
Carlos?
I didn't have the time to correct him. Hey, is Helen here yet? I asked. There's a woman here, but it's really early. I checked the time. She was supposed to be here about 7, but it was 5:30.
Yeah, the plane was early.
Dad replied, nearly making me scoff in disbelief.
And she got a taxi cab, so a ride wasn't necessary. By the way, we're picking up dinner. Helen's treats and she's staying with us. Did you get the room cleaned up?
No, I didn't think she'd be here this early. I sighed.
Get it done then.
Dad said. I could hear Mom yelling something, and Dad groaned.
What do you want? We're having Chinese.
Orange chicken is fine, I replied before hanging up. Helen lived in Vegas. She probably had plastic surgery, and that's why she looked so young. Plus, it looked like she was wearing a fair amount of makeup. I wiped the sticky residue off my cheek. I turned and saw Helen was still on the porch. Cinder whimpered softly, staring at the unusual woman. Was she watching me? I kneeled down to pet Cinder and calm her down. Once I had gone in the guest room, cleaned up, and brought Helen's bags in, I went into my room, flopped on my bed, and started playing games on my phone. I ignored the growing piles of texts Zach had been sending me. Felt like he was texting me every hour or so. Yet I couldn't bring myself to block his number. There was just something so permanent about that. When I heard the
True.
front door open, I rushed down. Mom and Dad were carrying a bunch of bags. Helen rushed over and she and Mom hugged, squealing excitedly. I grabbed Mom's bags from her, the smell of food rushing into my nostrils.
Helen, it's so good to see you.
Mom gasped.
I haven't seen you in ages. How have you been? Well, the plane ride was a literal pain in the ass.
Helen complained.
But boy, being out here again is lovely. I love Vegas, don't get me wrong. The place is like a living stage play. But here is so quiet and peaceful.
Oh, this is so nasty. My heart
Ah!
froze as I felt her hand slide down my back and squeeze my
Wait,
butt.
hang on one second.
I
She put an arm around my shoulders.
Oh, she put an arm around my shoulder.
And the company here is much nicer too.
My heart froze as I felt her hand slide down my back and squeeze my butt. I instinctively pulled away.
Don't be rude.
Dad grunted. Before I could protest, everyone started making their way to the kitchen. Dad and I set up the table, and he grabbed another chair, setting it next to mine. I sat down, put my head together, and bowed my head, waiting for one of my parents to begin saying grace. Instead, I heard the sound of containers opening and the clinking of silverware. I looked up and saw my parents were just digging in without prayer. I wasn't complaining. I didn't say grace when I lived on my own. However, doing so was always a regular thing in this house. Are we not saying grace? I asked. My parents sounded surprised, not sure of what to say. Helen chimed in.
I could say a few words.
Mom nodded and took her position. I closed my eyes as Helen began.
Great Lord, I thank thee for this scrumptious meal. I also thank thee for granting me a roof over my head in this most trying time. Finally, I thank thee for such
Her voice grew more suggestive.
pleasant company.
Wow, Helen is a fucking predator, bro. Helen's
Yeah,
being weird. Bro, that's
predator,
your friend's kid.
freak,
That's so creepy. Ugh. These parents need to act up. Okay, guys,
and also
please look
the
at
fact that she is like the epitome of stereotypical femininity. Like,
femininity. She is a 1950s garbed up housewife drenched in pink. And there's some symbolism here. I'm
yeah,
too
there's some
illiterate to understand
symbolism.
it. I'm too illiterate to understand, but I know it's there. Where's the ogre meme? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like, ogre can't even process speech.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
put
I
that
will
in
put
there. That's
that.
how I'm feeling right now. Oh
Yeah,
god.
I feel
Okay.
like we need to see more of the interaction to be able to fully get an analysis. We will have one chapter to do so.
Yeah. As Helen finished her prayer, I felt her hand squeeze my thigh. The tips of her plastic nails pressed into my bare skin. She caressed my leg, her hand rubbing against the frayed hem of my denim shorts. I felt myself tense up. Unexpectedly, a tinge of excitement coursed through me. I pulled my leg away from her touch, trying hard not to look at Helen. Mom and Dad were none the wiser about what just happened. Dinner seemed to stretch on forever. I desperately wanted to get away, but I needed to display a modicum of Southern hospitality. I wore a painful smile, trying hard to disguise my discomfort. Mom spent most of the meal talking about the chickens. That thankfully gave me something to focus on. I told them that Cinder was starting to show symptoms, which made Mom worried.
I'll bring her into work with me tomorrow.
She replied. After dinner, I went out to the chicken coop. The chickens cowered in fear as I approached, though they calmed once they saw it was me. Paprika was leaning against the wire fence as Greta rushed over to me. By the dim moonlight, I could see one of Greta's eyes had grown cloudy. It looked like a cataract. I pulled Greta out of the coop and held her to my chest. Paprika made a soft, lonely noise. God, I don't ask for much, but please let them be okay.
Ooh, and that is the end of chapter 4. So before we do chapter 5, our final chapter for this episode, um,
Mm-hmm.
man, Helen is a force of nature and a fucking creep.
Helen is I now immediately this is the classic way to show that somebody is fucked up. Dogs, cats, animals of any kind fucking hate them. That's how you know you cannot trust a person. If dogs and like chickens, if they don't like a person, they're evil. This bitch has everybody cowering in fear. I don't think that she's a human.
Yeah,
But what is
absolutely
she?
not.
How does her mom know who she is? How does she relate to the evil white man that we see in the backyard? Will these be answered in chapter 5? Well, I don't know,
Yeah, probably
but
not
we
all of
will
them.
we will
Also,
get into it.
side note, have you
Mhm.
ever like held a chicken before?
I have never held a chicken before. What does it feel like?
It
I'm
is
assuming you have.
so nice. Yes, yes. So when I was babysitting the one kid, um,
Mhm.
I was invited to come along to the birthday party to um
Oh, cute.
to like help supervise, be an extra set of adult hands. Um,
Mhm.
and it was on a farm. And I got to hold this one chicken named Barbie. She was the sweetest little thing ever. Like, the feathers are so soft. And, like, while their
Mhm.
eyes look a little scary sometimes, and, like, they look like they could, like, just fucking eat you, um,
Mhm.
like, she was so soft. She was so nice. It, like, it almost felt like holding a heavy stuffed animal.
Mm.
And she almost fell asleep in my arms. Shout out to Barbie. I love you. I miss you. And I think about you every day.
Oh, I just I'm mm, things are happening right now. Helen is being a fucking creep and weird and gross. See, that's just the weird part to me. I'm like, damn, what is she doing right now? Like, she is very much giving Aunt Gladys and her extraness, but I'm like, dude, you have seen Carla for maybe what an hour, and you're already trying to grope at her. Like that's weird. Why are you
Like,
doing that? Well, I mean, I guess she is fresh off a divorce.
yeah,
She's
like,
a cougar on the prowl, looking for
take your
some fresh
time,
meat.
ask for dinner first, like, be a normal,
Yeah,
gentle lady about
maybe
it.
give it a fucking day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
give it a minute. Like, it's not, so, like, yeah, it is fucking weird that it is your friend's kid, but, like,
That is the weird part. It's like that.
but at the
Did you ever
same
see
time,
that
I
series
feel like
Why Women?
it's more forgivable if she is genuinely mom's age and
Yeah, yeah.
mom's
I
old
I'm
friend.
so sorry. All the dogs and all the animals don't like her. She's obviously evil,
Yeah, she's obviously evil, but
and
like
it
the
doesn't.
fact
It
that
also
she
does
didn't
not
know,
help that the. It also does not help that the whole series is called The Lady in Pink.
yeah,
So I'm guessing Helen is an important character in all of this.
absolutely. But yeah, I think
Um,
because she didn't grow up, uh, Carla didn't grow up knowing Helen, it's slightly less creepy, but she is still so fucking sus and pred, um, specifically
and that's just
because
weird.
no consent and also the animals bad. Anyways,
Yeah.
chapter 5.
Chapter 5, A Bad Day.
Cinder lay on the cobblestone floor of the living room. Her eyes were milky white and her tongue was swollen. No! I tried to nudge her, but she wouldn't stir. I shook her more and more, but nothing would make her move an inch. That green viscous stuff had dried on cheeks, making the fur there crusty. Please don't die on me. Please don't die on me. Emily stepped into the living room, wearing nothing but a vacant expression. I tried begging her for help, but she just stood there as if she couldn't hear me. Then Zach walked in. He looked down at me as I held my dog. He sneered in disgust and turned to Emily.
Oh, sorry. Don't touch her!
I screamed.
This is a real woman.
Zach said and turned to Emily. The two of them wrapped their arms around each other and their lips locked with each other. I shook my head. No, no,
Ow!
no,
Gross!
no! This couldn't be happening. I stood up and I was in the woods where the stream was. The swing had fallen, the rope having rotted away. Helen was standing on the water, her arms open for me. A deep, lonely longing overtook me. I awoke, but I wasn't in bed. I was standing next to the door, holding the handle. How did I get here? Before I could contemplate this further, the door opened. Dad was there, surprised to see that I was awake already. I need your help with something. Put on some shoes and come outside, he said, then left without any further explanation. I checked my phone. My alarm wouldn't go off for another hour. My half-asleep mind couldn't fathom what was going on. I threw on my sneakers and stepped into the early dawn in my pajamas. Dad led me over to the chicken coop. No, the baby! Laying on her side
Why are you killing animals?
was Greta. Her mouth hung open, foam seeping out, tongue swollen, eyes frozen in fear.
No,
Paprika
oh my god,
rested her
this is what's
head.
gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen to Cinder too.
Ah!
No!
Paprika rested her
Oh,
head on
so
Greta's
sad.
flank as if in mourning. God answered my prayer by putting Greta out of her misery. It hurt that she'd been taken from me, but it was for the best. Found her like this, Dad mumbled. I need help burying her. Because we didn't know how Greta died, eating her was out of the question. We didn't know if the meat was
Yeah.
contaminated. So we had to bury her instead. Burying her felt more respectful to me, since I've always thought of the animals more like pets than livestock. Texan soil is hard and unforgiving. Although my family had been working these fields since the 1950s, the rest of the grounds required a pickaxe to pry up. It took almost 2 hours for Dad and I to dig far down enough to bury Greta by the tree line. When we were done. We were drenched with sweat. Our backs ached, and my eyes burnt with unshed tears. Dad let me shower first, since I had work. I let the hot water run down me for what felt like hours, just staring at my shampoo bottle. I couldn't bring myself to do anything other than just stand there. My vision would occasionally grow blurry at the edges, but I didn't care. I couldn't muster the effort to do so. I just felt so numb. My tears wanted to flow, but they refused to. After a long shower, I walked into the kitchen where Mom and Helen were talking about something. It might have been about the divorce. Mom made me coffee oatmeal with raspberries picked fresh from her garden. It took me a while to finally begin to eat, though I could barely taste it. Are you going to grow out your beard? Helen asked. I think you'd look handsome with one. I touched my
What a
cheek.
cunt! What a
Yeah,
cunt!
this
What
is
an
my
absolute
girl!
raging cunt. Oh my god. Can somebody get Helen out of this fucking house, bro? Oh my god. Carla, get out of here. You need to leave. Go away. Find somewhere else to be. Everybody in your life is terrible right now. Oh
Yeah,
my god. Except for Charlie. Charlie, our goat.
yeah, Charlie or goat. I touched my cheek, realizing I'd forgotten to shave. I'd need to fix that before I left. Mom asked Helen to give us a minute. She left and Mom sat down. Mija, are you okay? She asked.
Back hurts.
I mumbled. It was true. I was in pain from digging earlier, but that was honestly the least of my concerns. There's also the fact that I'd stood up while asleep, but I didn't want to worry Mom about that. She had enough to deal with. I'll get you something for your back, Mom said, squeezing my hand. She then gently stroked my fuzzy cheek. You look better without it. After breakfast,
Oh.
Aww. After breakfast, I shaved, and Mom rubbed some strong-smelling ointment on my back. Then, Dad drove me to Pedro's. I told him I'd get Emily to drive me back, and he left. I stepped into the grocery store, the overwhelming sound of customers surrounding me in an instant. The only small comfort I had was the blast of cool air when I entered the building. I trudged to the deli and saw Paul standing behind the counter. Right, he worked here too. Paul's eye was purple and swollen shut. I went over to him, forgetting my own worries.
Good morning, Paul.
I said.
That eye looks painful. Are you okay? Don't talk to me.
Paul sneered. I blinked, surprised by the hostility. What the hell was his problem? Then I remembered how he treated me back at the house and decided to ignore him. I clocked in and put my apron on. As I was reaching for the pear nets, Paul added,
And no hitting on me, you freak.
Okay, what the fuck? Not even a minute in, and I was already getting this crap? During my school days, I get this quite a lot from insecure fuckfaces that I had no interest in even talking to, yet alone in flirting with. I hadn't dealt with this as much in my adult life, but Paul was a teenager. Given how he was checking me out the other day until he saw my stubble, he probably took my mere existence as a challenge to his masculinity. Under normal circumstances, I could ignore this. However, Greta's death weighed heavily on me. It wasn't just Greta, though. It was Zach's constant messages, the fact Emily would be leaving soon, my strange dreams, and my new sleepwalking. I needed to just be left alone, but no, this little shit decided to make his insecurities my problem. I rolled my eyes and responded.
Not my type, kid. Don't call me a kid. Then don't call me a freak.
I sneered. Anger started to build up in me. When I saw Paul last, I gauged his age to be about 15 or 16. However, the more the idiot spoke, the younger and more immature he appeared in my mind's eye.
Oh, sorry. It's what you are.
Paul growled in what I assumed he thought was an intimidating tone. I took a deep breath, trying to remain calm. My heart thudded hard, pumping adrenaline through me. My hands trembled, fingers going numb. In a shaky voice, I demanded,
Just get back to work.
The kid just couldn't shut the fuck up. He had to say one more fucking thing. Just 2 words.
Or what?
That set me off. I faced him, fire burning in my glare, and spoke quietly but firmly with venom in my voice.
Paul, let's get one thing perfectly fucking clear. You're a fetus. You're far too young for me to have any interest for you. And even if me going after you was legal, I wouldn't because you're nothing but an immature, insecure little shit. Now shut the fuck up, you dumbass little cunt. I had to bury one of my chickens earlier, so I'm not in the fucking mood to deal with your goddamn bullshit. Keep your fucking trap shut, and maybe, just maybe, we can get through this day without issue.
My head jerked back as Paul's fist collided with my lip. Bastard! The taste of blood filled my mouth. The customers gasped in shock, and they began to murmur amongst themselves. Their eyes were on me, judging me silently. To them, I was the older employee picking on someone half a decade younger than me. It didn't help that I looked like a freak, like an abomination. I took my apron off, then started heading towards the door. Pedro was rushing over to the deli, but stopped when he saw me leaving. Where are you going? Pedro asked, shocked.
I quit!
I snapped. His eyes bulged as he saw my blood-covered teeth. Who hit you?
Paul,
I sighed.
little shit took a swing at me when I told him to leave me alone.
Let me talk to him, see what happened. Pedro rushed off to the deli. I didn't wait. I knew what Paul would say, and after seeing how the customers were looking at me, I knew that they would back him up. I stormed out of the store and started my way to Charlie's place. A summer sun shone down on me as I stomped my way there. I was sweating profusely by the time I entered her air-conditioned store. Charlie looked up from her phone as I entered.
Jesus fuck, kid.
Charlie gasped.
What in the hell happened to you? Oh, why'd you turn Australian there? What in the hell happened to ya? Still Australian. Don't know
Yeah.
why that is. Sorry, gang. He's Floridan. Ignore me. I quit my job.
I then told her what happened.
Fucking kid needs to learn some respect.
Charlie sneered.
I blame the parents. They pass their insecurities to their kids and the kids start acting like little assholes.
She closed her magazine.
My offer's still open. Want a job?
I frowned and checked my messages to see if Pedro got back to me. He did. His message said, "Customer said you were picking a fight with Paul. Cameras say another story. Unfortunately, Paul's mother is the head of the HOA, and my house is under their jurisdiction. I'd love to keep you on, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to throw you under the bus. I'm sorry for this. If it helps, I'll happily fluff up your resume if you need me to. I've already written out a check for your hours yesterday, plus a little extra as an apology. You can pick it up whenever."
I got fired.
I sighed, and I showed Charlie the message.
What an asshole!
Charlie sighed.
I'm sorry, sugar. So I take it that that's a yes on the job?
I nodded.
Alright, I'll show you the ropes.
She got my information into her system, which took a lot less time than with Pedro's, after she spent half an hour showing me how things worked around there. When the training was over, she went into the back to take a nap. Apparently, she didn't get much sleep since she was the only one working here. She had a friend come in a couple times a week to work a few hours so Charlie could get some rest. When that didn't happen, she'd have to close up to sleep. More than a few people complained that this meant she wasn't actually a 24-hour store. Me working there solved 90% of her problems. Work was boring as fuck. A trucker in a giant rig came in for gas, smokes, and snacks. An overworked waitress dropped in for coffee. Neither spoke much. I was pretty thankful for that. I wasn't feeling talkative, frankly. It got rather busy around lunchtime. I very quickly ran out of hot dogs in the roller, and had to deal with many complaints from old fucks about my work ethic. After the rush, I reloaded the roller and had a lunch of coffee and a brookie. Then was another slow period, during which I texted Mom and told her what happened. She was shocked, but sympathetic. She told me the kid was a jerk. Then she texted, "Can you come straight home after work to keep Helen company? I have to go to Austin, and you know your father is the best company in the world. I'm bringing Cinder to my friend to run some tests. After Greta died, I want to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible." I agreed. As I was about to play some music, I got a notification. Yet again, it was from Zach. I don't know what it was, but something made me hit the message.
I'm in therapy. I got a new job. I've been sober since that night. Please come back to me. Carla, I love you more than anything.
My heart throbbed and my eyes watered. Fuck, I hope that was true. If only he had taken these steps when we were still together. Why couldn't he have done this sooner? Why did he have to wait until now? I saw some of his other messages.
I miss you, sweetheart. Life is meaningless without you. No one will love you like I do.
In spite of everything, I still missed him. I missed his warmth. I missed the way he'd kiss the nape of my neck. I missed our late night gaming sessions where he'd pass out on the couch. My thumb continued to scroll almost outside of my control. So many
Hmm.
sweet words, so many tender and gentle affirmations of love and adoration. However, they were nothing but words. Maybe he'd be in a good spot for a while, but he would always go back to the monster those drugs made him become. Maybe there's a reality where we were happy, but it wasn't this one. I then did something I should have done the instant I left his apartment. I blocked his number.
Let's go! Let's
Woo!
go! That's why Carla's my dog! That's why she's my bitch! That's why she's gonna win!
I
Okay?
love
She's gonna
her!
kill Helen. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. I want Carla to have a good, happy life. I love Carla. Carla's great.
Me
Oh,
too.
she's
She
awesome.
deserves the world.
I hope that we're all doing I hope that I'm doing her justice. I actually really like Carla. Oh, I'm gonna be sad to not read more of this for a while. Ugh. Fucking
Next
Tina the
next
Rogue, you did a
weekend.
great job.
Next
Yeah.
weekend we'll I'll wake up and then we'll do this again.
Okay.
As the hours stretched, I busied myself with restocking shelves. I tried desperately not to look at the clock. Each second that ticked by was another second closer to when I'd need to go home. Well, I wouldn't be totally alone. I'd have good old Cinder with me. Wait, fuck, she'll be in Austin. Maybe I could invite Emily over. Charlie woke up at almost 5 in the afternoon. She was supposed to wake up at 3, but she slept through her alarm. She wandered through the store in a stupor, looking at all the extra duties I did while she was passed out.
Jesus fucking Christ, kid.
she grumbled, rubbing her eye.
Whatever you do, don't let a manager at a corporate joint see you working this hard. They'll ride you harder than a horny cowboy at a rodeo. I was bored. I can tell.
Charlie laughed.
I'll go clock off and enjoy the rest of your day.
I bought the coffee and went outside and texted Emily. She replied back that she was busy packing and was going to go have dinner with her father. Right, she was leaving. I sighed and called Dad, drinking the coffee I'd bought for Emily. I coughed. It tasted nasty. So that is the end of part 1.
That is the end of part 1. We have gone through 6 parts today. Any theories that you got so far, Bats?
I don't think Helen was actually one of Carmela's old friends from school. I do not believe it.
I think this is an Aunt Gladys sort of scenario where
Yeah,
it's like,
agreed.
oh, she's my aunt, and it's like, is she? What? What's with these dreams also? Okay, there's like the dreams, there's what's the green goo, what's the white guy in the woods doing, what's Helen up to. There's a lot that this story has actually introduced, and it's all kind of intertwining together, and I'm very interested. I'm not excited to see Helen be even more of a sexual predator than she seems to be already,
Yeah.
but come see, come saw. We'll see what happens when it happens, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And oh my god, just the writing is amazing. It comes from such a real place too.
And I do want to say I follow Tina the Rose. People go check out Tina the Rose's uh Reddit profile. Go check out the stories. Give every single one an upvote. I'm actually just gonna run through and give all of them an upvote because yeah, deserves an upvote. TBH
Yeah,
deserves your
absolutely.
attention. Deserves more eyes on it. It's a good story. I'm interested to see what happens more with it. So
God, me
everybody,
too.
thank you very much for yeah, that was great. Please go check
Yeah,
it out though.
I'm gonna have to go watch Weapons after this. Um,
You are gonna have to watch Weapons. It's a great movie. It's great.
yeah, I've already watched it like twice, but like I need to watch it
Oh,
again after
yeah, and then
seeing Helen.
seeing Helen. I'm thinking she gives Uncanny Valley is what I think.
Absolutely.
Like just so picturesque and kind of oh there's a lot of well we can get more into symbolism and stuff once that stuff gets revealed, but I do think it is very telling that the monster of this story seems to be a very hyper idealized version of feminineness,
Yeah.
with like the whole 1950s housewife aesthetic. This is what somebody would define as traditionally feminine. It also is strange that this woman who's meant to be the same age as Camilla, she looks like 30 and stuff. She's still actively touching or preying on like a 19-year-old girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But does Helen see Carla as a girl? I don't think
No.
so. I think
No,
that
because
I think
like
that
she's
there's a lot
always
of transphobia that's happening here. This cougar needs to be caged up. All right,
absolutely.
we cannot let her on the streets. All right,
Yes,
and
thank you
Carla,
everybody.
yeah, thank you everybody. Please go check it out. Special shout out to somebody named Bats who's gonna get to edit this whole thing. So
Yeah.
thanks to you.
Yeah, it is going to be quite the edit, but it'll be so worth it for this story. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with your buddies. And we will see you next week because
Next
we're
week.
going to be having 3 episodes in a row posted, I think, with this
Oh, that'll
bonus
be fun.
one.
That'll be a lot of fun.
All
That will
right,
be
so we shall
great.
see
All
you
right.
then.
Bye.
Bye.